Welcome to Loose Mesh, the Lacrosse podcast, the place where the tape's off, the gloves are off, and the stories come straight from the barn. From rookie bus rides to championship runs, we're breaking down the game with the players, the legends, and the voices that live it. Whether you're a weekend warrior or a pro chasing rings, grab a cold one, string up the stick, and let's get loose.
Welcome back to Loose Mesh. Episode 5 is here. Week 1 did not disappoint in NL. We got upsets, breakout players, and a couple squads look like they're built for June. We're joined by Georgia Swarm goaltender Brett Dobson, who breaks down the life as an NL starter and what the Swarm looks like in the 2025-2026 season, and the truth behind of serving a 5-minute major as a goalie. Hot takes, honest reactions, and one of the league's best young goalies. This one's a heater. Toll, Frick, finally, the NL season is back.
What an absolute week to start it off too, though, right? Like, Oshawa just kind of had their way with Toronto a little bit. Like, that game, I think, was a little bit closer than most people thought it was going to be. And then you got that absolute, kind of little bit of a shit kicking that San Diego played on Ottawa. And then the late night game, right? The late night game didn't disappoint it either. Like, that was just an absolute weapon of a game.
No, I agree 100%. But to me, and it's been driving me nuts since I've watched all the games. What did I say to you guys the very first episode? 2-man sides kill you. No one can stop a 2-man side. And it drives me nuts how many teams are forcing down the 2-man side. They flip it back. Hello, Matthews to Hiltz. Wide open shot. There's a call that you always have a call when the guy goes down, the 3-man side has to be inside. What team played the best defense all week? Colorado. Did they get spread out? Did they force down? Nope. Old school cross check, tight, good defense. Let Ward see it. But again, and I think Mouse is one of the best coaches in, obviously, right now by far, one of the best in the world right now. But to me, the game plan he had versus them, and I'm not saying anything, but to me, in Panther City, we scored 20 on him. You got to get the ball behind. He's on the top of the hash marks. You got to get the ball deep behind the net, make them watch you, make them adapt to you. And the ball did not go there. He loves when they just see pass across, sets up for the shot, goes down, save. Like, I was not impressed. I do love Mouse's interviews after, though. Like, he is spot on so many things. Like, it was legit. I don't know if it's I haven't read the whole thing about the podcast, but he's legit. But again, where's your 5-on-5 offense, Vancouver? Like, your power play legit. And
I think, just touching on your point there, Toller, like, too many teams are still doing that old school Buffalo defense to where they push down and try and trap in the corner. And, like, you got to give the offensive guys a little bit of credit. Like, they figured it out, right? So, like, I love what you say there. They just at least make an entry in behind the net, right? Like, push the ball down and enter in behind and then work it back up. And if you got to get to your 2-man side, then that's exactly what you do. But I think they're still just people haven't changed to that dominant Buffalo style offense. But this is way back now. Like, we're talking early 2000s.
And that's the thing, Frick. You're right on that. And this is the difference, though. On Hiltzy's goal, who's ever forcing Matthews down, Hiltzy actually bumps him. So the guy actually backs up 3 steps or 2 steps, and then he begins to chase Matthews again. Why not Matthews low? You have your guy on the crease, but Matthews has one hand on his stick. Hey, Frick, you take Matthews, I'll take Hiltzy. You're not getting to Matthews when you're 2 steps behind him. And the thing is, too, is Matthews is one of the best one-handed passers ever. But you lock off the far crease. The middle guy has his guy. Is Matthews going to make a pass this way all the way to the far righty on the far side through 2 guys? No, not a chance. That guy, as soon as he sees Matthew running downhill, he should be leaking to that guy, Hiltzy, right away. What harm? If he turns around, you just go back to your guy. And, like, to me, the deep, like, how many guys got beat underneath? Like, from the crease.
That's crazy. And like, you know better than anybody here. Like, as a D coach, like, you're telling them, if you're the low guy, the only place I don't want you to get beat is underneath. Like, literally, give them over the top and don't get burned underneath because you have no help.
No, you have no help. And the thing is, too, when you're Colorado and tight, because you get scared sometimes when you think, oh, I'm going to force them up. But if you're playing tight defense, you're not getting spread out. Like you watch Ottawa at times. I mean, it was Callum Jones, who's one of the best defenders in the league by far. He was on the boards checking some guys. Like, you know what I mean? Like, then nothing good can really happen when you're out that far if you're not talking. But to me, like the defense getting beat underneath, you got to, like, if I'm watching you make my go lefty and you're on the boards, I got to make sure that my right leg doesn't go past your right leg. Because as soon as you see that thing, you're going underneath every time with no help.
Yeah.
And even the stutter set by Simmons, like, don't fall for that. Like, don't, like, it's just like, you know it's coming. You know it's
They're
coming.
pushing them no help all the time, though, the whole game. Like
I was so, like I said, Dougie, that goaltending display, like Frick said, the goaltending was great. But like I said, there was some defensive breakdowns all throughout the league. Like, and this is my other thing. I'm just going to go off on defense. One more thing.
Yeah.
What? And I said it to my guys, what has ever happened good besides your name is
go off as much as you want. This is just gold for us. Go off as much as you want. I know, but I'm just saying,
this is driving me nuts. Unless your name is Kyle Rubish, please have two hands on your stick at all times so you're not getting a holding penalty, because it's the most annoying thing in the world. Cross-check the guy. Keep him in front of you. You're not Kyle Rubish. You're not stripping the guy down like that. Two hands on your – how many holding penalties? And useless holding penalties. Like, that's the thing too. Like, oh, just driving me nuts. Holding penalties and bad defense underneath and – forcing down and no slide. Like, it just, I don't know. Like, again, Higgy was shaky early, came on, but no help. Like, you can't give him blank looks. Like, you know what I mean?
So we jumped on right after that Oshawa-Toronto game, and we kind of said the same thing about the goaltending. Outside of those four that Rosie absolutely has to have.
Yeah, 100%.
Oh, yeah. That, and again, Rosie's obviously like top 5, top 6 goalie, but I'm not going to talk about Stamper or whoever's ratings inside lacrosse, but I mean, and it's no offense against Rosie because he's a great goalie, but Dougie Jameson's a better goalie than Nick Rose. Play like in my
8 days a week. 8 days a week.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, like they're both great. But
and I think that's the biggest difference there, Tully, is that, you know, Dougie still he let in 7 and Rosie only let in the 8 or the 9, whatever it was, 10. But Dougie makes the saves that you have to make, right? Rosie is still, like, again, like he had a good game. He only gave up 10 goals. But if you take away those 4 that, you know, Dougie makes that save, Christian makes that save, our guest today, Brett Dobson, he makes that save.
Well, I don't know about Dauber yet. I like the guy too. We'll talk about Dauber later. I love him, but
Rosie was just like the ones that he had to have, he didn't have on Friday night.
It just felt like he lost the control of the game by not just focusing. A lot of the goals was just focusing, like moving that stutter step across. Like then they're shooting as he stutter step, it was right through the wickets.
Yeah, no,
every like 4 goals in the like. It just destroys the team. And the thing is those like if you're Oshawa, if you're Glenn Clark right now, you're not happy with that game. If I'm an Oshawa fan, I am not happy with that showing. Like Toronto destroyed you for 3.5 quarters. Like at the end of the day, like you have to be pissed off. Good that you got points out of it, but you have to be pissed off with that performance.
Yeah. Taylor, what do you think he was motherfucking them about when it was tied 5-5?
Oh, it definitely was about getting beat underneath. For sure, yeah, it was about getting beat underneath and 110%. Oh, I know. That's if that was me going off like that and someone in the OLA, I would have been fined probably like $1,000 for yelling at kids or something.
You're gonna get fined just for thinking that you should have got fined.
Yeah, I know. It probably will. It'll be a new rule in the OLA. We're going to fine you if you think about Steve Toll, you're going to get fined. So, yeah, don't think about
it. You're going to have a text from Jeremy Bailey after this pod airs. Like, Toller, you're fined $2,000 for thinking something.
Yeah. But anyways, no, and that just made me mad, like watching all those games like underneath and that's the thing too. And even too.
Push to hell.
But even too, watching the Vancouver game, like, Shane Simpson is pretty much a younger version of Steve Toll and whatever. But if I see myself watching Malcolm, Will Malcolm coming down on me and I got him, I'm yelling help before he even starts to make a move on me. Like, you know what I mean? And you got to recognize that. Like,
he's slippery.
Well, it's not just exactly. And like, like I said, like, and the guys do that in Toronto. Like when I played, like they were sliding to help, whatever, you know what I mean? Like, that's the thing. Like you got to keep him in control, but he can't watch him.
And he was absolutely feeling himself that night too.
Oh, buddy.
Like you could just tell by the swagger he was walking with on Saturday night that he was just on one. And that new celly, I don't know what that celly him and Dane are doing, but you could throw that in Frick's wheelhouse.
Well, all I know is I
was
guarantee you, if he doesn't have a girlfriend, he probably went home about 7. Yeah, I don't know what happened. Yeah. Guarantee.
Well, how many did he have in Panther City?
He owned the city. He owned it. Owned it. Yeah.
Owns.
Yeah. But no, he was lights out. Like that one goal, he ran through 5 guys.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. He willed his way to the score against Vancouver.
Did you just say will his way?
I see what you did.
Oh my God. Holy moly. Chrissy
Cheesy on this podcast.
Cheesy. Holy God.
I'm gonna will my way to hope Cam the editor blocks that one out.
Yeah. Oh God. Wow.
Fred, let's jump back to the Toronto game. CJ Curse made you eat crow after game 1.
Oh, that was tough night to be Frick watching that one, right? Like it's I don't know if the kid just studied nothing but game tape there, if he listens to the pod and is like, oh, maybe I do got to get across the middle, but like as soon as he took that couple steps towards the middle, it was over. But let's talk about our boy Michael Carvalho trying to put up that he's already better than Brennan O'Neill. Like, give your goddamn head. The guy from Daily Dive was asking, and I don't know if this was a serious question or not, but I had a little bit of travel issues on Sunday, so I couldn't make the pod on Monday. But he brought this other guy in, and their big question was, is CJ Kirst already better than Brendan O'Neill? And I just thought that they must have got an Elmer sponsorship or something, because if you honestly think that CJ Kirst is better than Brendan O'Neill already, you're huffing major glue. Like that is an outlandish take.
Well, it's outlandish, but it's going to have potential in a couple of years. Like he's got game. It's the same. They're the same. Like they're both legit players. Like it could be. It's
they're
like
the same player. They're the same player.
Yeah, exactly.
Brennan O'Neill,
and that's the thing. And that's the thing about CJ Kerr. And I watched obviously a lot of games. And like I said, you're running through the middle, going through the middle, scoring a 6-foot long pole, weighs 6'3" and jack to the nines and slashing you.
Oh,
you're not worried about
your nails.
Hit. Yeah, and plus not only that, but you got if they do anything, you got Gash and Hostrauer backing you up anyway. But I will just sorry, Frank. I will bite my words, because what number the guy I didn't recognize that you guys said number 27 from the Rock,
Hugh Keller.
Hugh Keller. I take Hugh. Personal apology, Steve Toll. You played a hell of a game. I honestly am not going to say I didn't know much about you. You played great. Might lose the shoulder pads though; they are a little big. Other than that, you played real well.
So what I'm hearing through my channels that he's the reason basically that Darlson didn't make the active roster, was he had such a good camp and performed so well that he's the reason why they didn't bring Jake Darlson up. I don't think it's cap circumvention, because he only played because what's his name got scratched last minute.
Yeah, who was it?
Jubenville
got sick or something.
Yeah. The Oshawa flu, baby.
Yeah. Let's jump over to Buffalo, a couple hours down the road. Banner night in Buffalo. The barn's shaking, rings are flashing, full of chaos. Georgia actually walked in, with swings first. Then Brett Dobson, the guest on the podcast today, takes a 5-minute major as a goalie sitting in the box throw. When's the last time you saw that? Like that is nuts to me. But on banner night, you can't do that.
If I was Dobson, I probably would have did in the first and second when I was rhubarb. I wouldn't have waited till late in the game. But anyways,
you can't do that. You can't do that, man. It's gasoline at that point. The Bandits smelled blood there, and Josh Byrne and Dane Smith went to town.
Not only that, Go ahead, Frick.
I know Brett pretty well, and obviously we're going to ask him coming up here, but
100%.
I don't think that was I'm going to try and high stick this guy coming around the net here.
No.
If he did, he sure did the stand over top of him after pretty good.
Well, I think at that point he's just kind of motherfucking him, telling him that he shouldn't be laying on the ground like that, right? Like I don't, he gave him the too small hundo P.
He got him pretty good though. But the best is Dobson staying over top. I would have been looking over my shoulder to see if Big 23 was running after me first. That's what I would have been looking at.
Total Frick. If that's a player that makes that hit, you think he's getting ejected there?
Oh God, yes. It was direct. Like it's again. Like I don't like the call, and I don't agree with the automatic 5-minute major. But it's direct contact to the head.
Yeah.
You weren't giving him a 5-minute major for that, Frick?
I'm saying that 100%. I don't like the rule that a direct contact to the head is a 5-minute major, but 100% it was a 5-minute major. And what Dawson asked was that if that's a player, are they getting thrown out? And just by letter of the law, 100% they're getting thrown out. Yes.
How about this one that no one talked about? I think this was Eddie might have said to the referees when they got there was, if you watch it closely, he actually high sticks McKay in the crease. Dobson is not out of the crease. It's the corner.
No.
And McKay, watch it. McKay is in.
Oh, no, I'm agreeing. I'm agreeing.
McKay is in the crease.
Yes, I agree.
Why is he allowed to run through the crease? If I'm just standing there, then that's what I think Eddie was. I don't know for sure, but I bet you that's Mike. What are you saying?
He's a smart man. He's a smart man.
Yeah.
Dobson, hold on, Dawson. If I'm Eddie, I'm absolutely losing my mind that Mickey gets up, goes to the bench for 7 seconds, and comes back on and is on the power play right away.
Yeah, but how many times?
Like I'm losing it.
Yeah.
Like the other thing is too, he's not a goalie. He's not supposed to serve that penalty. Like that rule has been thrown out of the book.
Are you for sure?
Yeah, 100%. It's not supposed. He's not supposed to sit in the box anymore. So, but being said, unrespectful toward these referees, this game, from like what I'm being told, could have been canceled.
Hey, you're not allowed to say that on frickin' our show.
Every single one of them. I hate
every single one of them.
They like, so they were like, I'm not sure what the time frame was, but with the CBA, with the NL players, and then as well as the referees, they had visa issues. They almost weren't be able to play the first game in the States. That's why the first couple weeks, you see all the games are in Canada. Just for that visa issue problem.
Oh, because the NLL doesn't know who the refs are in like June, and they can't get the visas by December? Okay.
Well, they didn't know if the season was going to happen because of the CBA though, right? So
they didn't have a referee CBA either. That's another thing that's kind of been under the table. They
don't deserve one.
But
it's funny when we talk about referees and the first one goes under review and it takes 5 hours. Besides, no offense, problem, but you take the longest always. But anyways,
5 minutes and 40 seconds.
We actually kept in Panther City. We had a stat, and Todd LeBranch, if he calls it no goal, and you think it's a goal and you throw the red flag, buddy, I will bet you right now he's changed his mind 0.00 times out of 100 calls. But if it's not his call, throw it. He'll overturn one of the other referees like it's his JOBB. He'll be yard sale. But Todd LeBranch, I'm not lying.
Another 0.0.
Got his whole foot in the crease. He called it a goal. Todd called it a goal. We're like, whole foot in the crease. He's got to call it no goal. Nope, goal. Under review. Didn't see it. Didn't see it. Not enough. Not enough. See his whole foot in the crease. Didn't see it. Yeah. But anyways, I love them all.
Every single one of them. Totally, you love them all. Every single one of them.
Let's go back about a half hour. What a terrible scheduling. It's banner night in one place, and it's tea time in Ottawa. Well, we thought, Ottawa, the Seals pretty much walked in there and said, "Hey, fellas, we're running a practice out here," and San Diego put up 6 goals without an answer until the middle of the second quarter. It's a tough go in Ottawa, and there's some questions that need to be raised here. I'll let you guys go first before I have a hot question for you guys for sure.
I don't know why people are surprised that San Diego came out and just dick punched them. I don't get it. Like, and I'm not trying to toot my own horn here, but every single prediction that I've seen from all of our so-called insiders are Ottawa, and to me that was the easiest pick of the week. Like San Diego 100%. Is they're top end heavy. Their depth is relatively good, and their goaltender can get the job done. And like they've proved it. Like they haven't taken that final step yet, but they're in the playoff mix every single year. And like I love the guys in Ottawa. No disrespect to them because I know they're just starting off. But the New York / Ottawa franchise, like when was the last time they sniffed the playoffs?
They gotta win that. They never. They gotta win it. They have to win.
Like the problem is you're not stiff in playoffs, and you have the best player, in my opinion, one of the best players in the world of all time. Like that's the point. Like
he's the best player in the world.
He's the best player.
Yeah, he's
best
gross.
player.
He's super. Yeah, and that's the thing to me. Like, and that's the frustrating part. Like you say, though, obviously. But one thing I will say right now too: in 5 years, Del Bianco is the best goalie in the league. Origlieri's number 2 and not far behind him. I'm telling you that right now. That kid's got serious game. I would take that kid any day, all day in my net, whatever. Yeah, I had a couple stinkers or whatever. But anyway, again, back to Ottawa. Again, they got Baptiste just dominated whoever they had him. And again,
29 out of 33
I know it's hard for people to get, but
29 for 33. That's
Grand Theft Auto, man. That's like Grand Theft Auto possessions.
It just Teat needs someone to get him open that can roll and think. Like he needs a body that can, and it's too bad. He needs a body where if the guy hits him too, that other guy, he needs a guy like Dawson Theed playing alongside him. So if the guy hits him, then he beats him up. Like that's what he needs beside him.
Well, like, man, I hate to ask this question, but it has to be asked. Like, is Dan McRae punching over his head right now with being a head coach and a GM? You look the past 2 seasons in Colorado, that defense was not good at all. Was not good. You look what Colorado just did to Vancouver. You have to ask the question, is this Dan McRae or what is going on?
I definitely don't think it's Dan. Like, I know him relatively well, and Toller, I know you do too. And he's very prepared. Yeah. He understands the game better than a lot of guys do. Yeah. But I think it's hard for anybody to do both jobs.
Yeah.
And
100%.
and for
especially when you've never done it before.
Yes, and for it to be his first kick at the can, right? Like, I know he was a very successful junior coach and he jumped onto that bench for the Mann Cup. But in the same sense, like, you got an NLL Hall of Famer in Sean Williams who has struggled performing both roles as well. You know what I mean? Like, and that's no slight because both guys are doing a better job than I ever could have. But I just think it's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot to chew. It's a lot for the scheduling because you have to schedule.
Because when you actually see it, and I'm there, and I have Bob Hamley and Trace Kaluski, and they're both 24/7 doing stuff, you realize, holy shit, Dan. Like, I love the guy. I talk to him all the time too. Great guy, knows his shit, but it's a lot. Like, I know, I'm not sure he actually wanted both. I don't know if they said, well, you got to take it. I don't know for sure, but it's a lot. Like, how is he going to, like, and two, not saying anything, but like, Willie, like, you recognize, you really got to lean on your assistants. Like, you really got to lean on your assistants big time. Because like I said, he's dealing with contracts, having to make sure this guy's playing, this guy played to the PR girl, whatever. Like, you're doing so much stuff, and then you got to worry about coaching. Like, I know, like, and that's the part I know you're going to say. Like, to me, Dan McRae, great guy, if they think that thing. But to me, the things that bother me is a guy like Bob Hamley, like you were just going to say.
Yeah, exactly.
He took Albany he takes an expansion team, Albany, to the finals, lost to a good Toronto team. Yeah. Then he goes to Arizona, takes a good Arizona team, lost to a good Rochester team, lost to Rochester, good team. And then he goes to Panther City, and in our second year, we make playoffs, third year. Like, I've seen the guy's work ethic, and it's not the part that they didn't even, they didn't even give him an interview.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
It's unbelievable. Like, how don't you give that guy an interview? Like, everywhere he's went, he's won, and you don't give him an interview. And whatever. And I know Dan will turn it around or whatever because he's got the thing.
Oh, yeah.
But it's going to take a while because it's not his team. It wasn't his team for all those years. And you just can't come in and bang this because you got to see for yourself. Like, you might not have thought whoever's no good. Say Callum Jones, even though he's great, but say Callum Jones no good. Then all of a sudden you're there and you're like, oh, I like him. I'm not going to trade him. I was going to trade him, but now I'm not going to trade him. It's things like that you can't take anyone else's opinion till you meet the guy. And that's what I always, when I say, like, coach, when I actually came to St. Catharines, they wanted to trade Jeff Whittick. He's this in the dressing room. He's a pain in the ass. He's this. I said, I'm not judging anyone till I coach him. When I coach him, I'll let you know what I'm going to do. Jeff Whittick was my assistant captain, second leading scorer, and he was a great dude. And you can't judge it till you're there.
Yeah.
I ju-
Everyone has
ju-
its flavorful taste, right? You have to figure out for yourself.
I just think, and again, I don't want to say he's bit off more than he can chew, but like it's a lot of the outside of lacrosse stuff that also has to be done. It's the planning of the buses. It's the planning of training camp. It's practice planning. Now you're getting into your lineups. Now you're getting into your X's and O's. Now you got to get into this. You got to get into that, right? Like it's for him to make like I kind of think they're setting him up for failure because like it's almost like you want to have a soft landing your first job.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm not going to say anything on his coaching style because I've never played for the guy. I know what he was like as a player. Right. But it's like you got to kind of get him a soft landing spot to where he can get his feet wet and he can, like do his job first. And then, like if he excels at his job, then give him the next opportunity.
Well, and too,
But
like you said, though, like not even like the same thing with Willie, though. Like you were an assistant coach in the NLL. Now you go into head coach and GM. Maybe it's a little different if you're head coach because you know all the responsibilities already a head coach. And that's the thing. When you're an assistant coach, you only know some of the responsibilities of the head
You
coach.
just show up and
There's a
coach.
lot more.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot more to do that you think. And then all of a sudden now you got GM, you got to figure out the CBA, and you got to know this, and you got to know that, you got to know
Right.
you got to know a lot of shit. And
Yeah.
that's the thing. Like they're in a tough sled, and I feel bad. That's a call, but I mean, I don't. I mean, I want him to do very well because he's a great dude, and hopefully we'll turn it around. And I just want to see Jeff Teat in the playoffs.
I'm not saying that I don't think that Dan McRae can be that guy, but I think like if Bob Hamley is sitting on that fence, you have to be phoning it, man. You need some help.
Again,
you need some help.
Yeah, but this is the thing too. Though.
It sounded like you were saying that.
Yeah, but frick, and this is the thing too, though. So all of a sudden now he's coaching GM. So let's just guess. Say he's making $100,000 doing both jobs.
Yeah.
They hire Bob Hamley. He's going to be making 75, 80, between 75 and 85 GM. Now he hires a head coach. He's going to be making between 50 and 60. So now you're talking, now you're at 130,000 instead of 100,000 right there. Just a thought, not saying it happened.
Yeah, what do you think? Do you think they're pinching pennies? Because I heard something at the start of the year that was rather intriguing, and I didn't break it out ever, but we're talking about it, so I might as well now. Apparently, like the ownership group has a 2-year out clause.
They're actually Ottawa.
It was a 3-year one. That's what happened to us in Panther City. We found
out. So
Go
GF Sports, GF Sports is selling their shares to Ottawa Senators Group. So once that happened, then it'll be like GF has a part of it, and then Ottawa Senators Group have a part of it as well. So they're going to sell their part of GF, which is apparently coming down the pipeline right now, from what I'm being told. But we'll see what happens with that, I guess, in the next, I don't know. It was supposed to be at the 3-year mark, but it could happen sooner. And I'm being told it's happening sooner because of the advertisement for the first game wasn't there. And they're not too happy about with having 4,300 people in the freaking stands.
That's another thing.
You can tell by the numbers. Like that looked like a game in Langley.
So it was boring to watch.
But now that said, two things. One, that 3-year thing, Frick, is I never learned it to Panther City. And this is what it works is the owner literally buys the team. And after 3 years, if they don't make money, they can write it all off. But if we would have been like 9,000 people in their game, he would have kept it because he would be making money. Yeah. But he fires all the sales staff. So obviously we're only going to get 42 people and sell a gray t-shirt night with all the gray seats. But it is what it is when you fire it all. But don't tell us that then 3 years and we're just getting gas when you know it's all going to happen. But the thing is too in Ottawa, it didn't work once there. The arena's in butt-fuck Idaho. No one goes on that friggin' highway. So what are you going to do? Like, unless you're building that new rink downtown, it's not going to work. I don't care if they went 16-0. They're not getting more than 6,000 people there all year guaranteed unless it's free promotion night and, I don't know, Hooters is sponsoring.
I heard they're moving to TD next year. So we'll see if that happens. Right?
The 67s rank, right?
Yeah, the 67s rank.
The old college.
But even let's bring PCLC into this. Like I've heard, like I'm pretty good friends with Brent Mitchell, who you coached. He said that you guys used to go to the restaurant or to the bar and like try to invite these people that come to the game. And and these guys have no idea that there's a lacrosse arena, a lacrosse team in Panther City.
I'm not lying to you. TK and I would get in early the day before, and after practice we would go to there's actually called It was like a Buffalo Bill place, and it was jammed. There had to be 400 TVs in there, and literally it was probably, I would say, from it to our hotel was probably a mile, and then to Dickies was probably 4 miles. So you're probably 5 miles away from the rink, 8-minute drive, and we'd go in there and say, "You guys ever put on Lacrosse on any of the 400 TVs?" No, field lacrosse is over. We don't. We have field lacrosse college, but that's it. No, not the pro team. Like 8 minutes down the road. Never heard of you guys. Biggest
my
mistake they
God.
ever made. Biggest mistake they ever made is calling the team Panther City. First off, not to reminisce, but Panther City. Hey, we're in Fort Worth. No one knows about us. How about we call the Fort Worth Panthers, not Panther City Lacrosse Club? No one knows where we are. No one knows who we are.
That's so bad.
I
That was so
never,
that is
I never understood that at all.
Well,
Frick.
because
Never.
maybe they wanted us to play soccer after. I don't know if they don't trust. I don't know what the problem was. But yeah. So anyways, but that was the first problem right from there. But the problem is nowadays too is you can't give. Oh, back in the day, we used to get tickets handed to us. Like Frick used to get tickets handed to him, whatever.
Yeah.
And nowadays, now it's
Yeah.
so creepy. Like we go to that restaurant to eat, and we started talking to the waitress, and you want to give her tickets. Yeah, can I have your phone number and email so I can send you the tickets? Who's this creep? Like, you know what I mean? You got to ask for
It's
you got to have their
changed.
phone
It's
number and their
changed.
email to give them tickets. You know
So,
what I mean? It's ridiculous.
When
Yeah.
you came to Edmonton in 2012, when you brought it in, I remember you giving me tickets in 2012. Like I remember you giving like people tickets all the time.
Yeah,
It
you
was
still owe
all
me
the
20
time.
bucks. You still owe me 20 bucks for those. But anyway, in Rochester we used to get.
Hey, let's not start talking about owing people money here, Toller.
Hey, but in Rochester, it was the best in Rochester.
$50.
Frick, you're gonna like this one. In Rochester, we used to get tickets, and all the guys that didn't use their tickets, I used to get them. Go give them to my mom. She'd sell them for like $10 less. I'd come after the game. My mom would throw me 100, 120, and that'd buy her beers all night long for me and Will, all the time. Oh, veteran move. It was not veteran.
That's so bad. That's
I
so
know.
bad.
Yeah, let's
That,
jump in.
that karma on selling free tickets is so bad.
Buddy, they loved it.
You can't
Hey,
sell
$20
something
or
you got
$10.
given for free.
$20. Hey, $20 or meet Mrs. Toll and buy it for 10.
That.
No,
Let's jump into the last game. Right from the get-go, you knew this wasn't Vancouver's night. Selling calls, chirping refs, complaining about everything. Zero blue collar, all drama. Meanwhile, we talked about him. Will Malcolm, the Vancouver kid, walks in to an 8-point night and just talks over the hype in Vancouver. Mammoth 10, Warriors 7.
Hold on. Let's put a little bit of respect on New Westminster here.
Okay.
He's
New West. Yes.
Vancouver.
Yes, New West.
That kid is a New West born and bred, lives at the river's reach, loves the salmon bellies. Like he's a New West kid. And you just knew that the whole city of New West was in that rink. And did that kid ever put on a goddamn show? Like that was
Did you see the double flip bomb from that lady?
Oh, the double was legit. That little celly that he was doing with the snuffleupagus thing, like that was pretty legit. But like we were talking about it before we went on air here. Like after goal number 2, like he was floating on a cloud.
Oh yeah.
Right. So how Sato doesn't adjust and just say go grab him right away. Like you can't let him have the ball. You can't let him have that swagger that he was carrying from 10 minutes onto the game on. Like there has to be adjustments, and I love Sato to death, and it surprised me that he just kept, there's no early doubles, there's no maybe a high and hard late slide, there was no nothing. Like they just let him have their way with him.
You know what play, Frick, that I knew that Vancouver was losing was the one where Beers gets pulled down by the face mask, right by the bench. And then he gets a 2-minute for like unsportsmanlike for whatever he said to the referee. I knew at that. I knew it. Yeah, I knew he's But on camera, I know it's a sell. But as in fans' face of view when they're watching it, even though there's some people in group chats, they're like, "How's that not a call?" I'm like, he kind of sold it there, and then he's calling the ref whatever. You just can't do that.
Doss, that happened for one reason, Doss, because they thought, and everyone thought, they were going in there and winning that game by 7 or 8, and it was going to be party night in Vancouver, and the show's ours. And you know what? And I guarantee you, it doesn't happen a lot, but Coyle and the crew put a hell of a game plan together, and no adaptation that way. And you know what? And the thing about Melks too, different spots on Del Bianco. Like he had him guessing
Everywhere.
He was
Everywhere. It was all over the map.
everywhere. Like I said,
He
and
didn't
he
go
was
to the same spot twice.
Yeah, no, I agree. And like
I
I
don't.
said,
I don't.
they didn't get the ball
I,
low. They didn't adapt to Dylan
no.
Ward at all. Like they fed right into his
Like,
wheelhouse.
And like Pat hasn't changed his defensive system. Like he still plays that umbrella style defense to where they
Yes.
just continually push guys over the top.
Yep.
And like if anybody should know to make the adjustments on that, it's Kurt and Sato.
Yeah. Like
Right?
where's
Like
your quick stick? Where's the ball low? Like get
right?
Dylan Ward back on the goal line, not at the top of the crease.
yeah.
Even having Slip on the front door, like Slip's been around for 35, 40 years. Like
Yeah.
you got to know to make those adjustments.
Yeah. No,
Like Joe, I posted the video of you in podcasts too. Like you said, if they accept of Buffalo's offense, they will win a championship. That game one, it was in Dixon stick, it was in ball stick, it was let me try to do all the work. It was
Yeah, I agree there, Doc. But to me, like you said though, they had no flow. Like they had no momentum.
None.
And
Nothing,
again,
nothing.
I'm not sure if, like I said, maybe they're listening to us and saying, yeah, they're my pick to win it. And maybe they just thought they could walk in rinks and whatever. But it's the old thing. Hey, you're not the hunter anymore. You're the hunted. You're the hunted now.
Yeah.
You're not
Oh,
the
yeah.
hunter. You don't get to hunt the big dogs. You are the big dogs. So you know what? And like I always said, good teams win at home. Great teams win on the road. That's
Yeah.
when you know you got a great team. When you can go on the road and win games,
Yeah.
you got a good team. I don't care. You beat a good Vancouver team, whether or not whatever. Yeah, Melks went off. Dylan Ward was unbelievable. Your defense was great, and you did it. And that's the thing to me. Like they didn't move the ball well. And again, like someone said, I think last thing, and maybe it was Teddy or Patty, it's going to take them a while.
Yeah. It's going to.
Well,
it's going to.
I just think offensively they need to set their hierarchy. Like Keegan Ball's got to realize he's playing with two Hall of Famers now, and let Curtis be Curtis, because like he's not going to change. And Keegan Ball has the best opportunity in the whole league right now, to where he gets to sit back and be a number two behind one of the best goal scorers that we've ever seen. Right.
Yeah.
So like just sit back and relax and go and set a pick and pop to your shooting spot. Let Dixon go underneath and do that 50-50 Sean Evans flip. And then you get to reap all the rewards. But like the more he carries the ball and tries to be the Keegan Ball of last year, I think the more trouble that offense is going to be in. It just learn
totally
who you're
agree.
playing with.
Totally
Well, I'm telling you right now,
pass that
is
on.
and you two agree, guaranteed. This guy is the most underrated player in the league. Kyle Buchanan from Buffalo. He does everything.
You're never
he gets
getting
everyone open. He gets every loose ball. He gets every rebound. He scores big timely goals. Like he is unbelievable. It's not really like Frick's. It's kind of like what Frick said, kind of the prepping order. And when I was always on teams that win, and I'm not lying to you, we did in Panther City. Hammer came up to us when TK won in Calgary. He's like, okay, now we got our, like when we were in Toronto, we got our Colin Doyle, we got our Kim Squires, we got this guy. We were trying to match guy for guy on defense too. We got our this guy, because you know what? Those are teams win. Okay, when you were with Calgary, TK, you had your TK, you had your Gallantry, a little lefty that did all the work. You had this guy, you had that guy, and you build your team like that. And it's tough. Buffalo's built in that way just because Dane and Byrne are so much better than everyone else. And that's the thing too. Nanako's on any other team, he's a 1 or 2 all day, every day. I take that guy on my team 500 times and over again. Like, and he doesn't see a lot of power play time or whatever. Like he's money. He's great. And he realizes where his role is. His time's going to come. Just sit back, win championships, and keep on winning. Like easy peasy.
So like that and that's what I mean with the Bucky comparison. And is look at, like, he's been the perfect number 2 ever since the day he walked into that Buffalo lineup. Right? Like he looks up to the top of the floor, and he sees Dane Smith, who is a generational lacrosse player. Yeah. And all I got to do is work a little bit harder in the corner and go and get the loose ball, set a half-ass pick so that Dane can go to the net, and then just pop to the right spot.
Yeah. What about that goal? What about that goal that he scored on Shannon? Yeah.
I would have punched him so hard in the face after he clapped in my goalie's face like that. Like my hand would still be hurting. I would have punched him in the face so hard. Like how? Like what? Toller, what happened to our game? The game
Swagger
we
goal,
lost
man.
so much.
Swagger that he
What
had.
happened to the game to where a guy can sit there and clap in your goalie's face and nobody even says anything to him, let alone punch him? Like Toller, if that's your Rochester team, Reggie's going over and two-handing him right in the face.
Yeah, he's getting chopped by Marshall Abrams, Ditzel, everyone's chopping. Oh yeah,
Like imagine,
little levies are flying off the bench probably. Oh yeah, gong show.
and now let's go back a couple more years. Imagine somebody did that and Scotty McMichael was on the floor. Like, you have to call the goddamn ambulance. You would have been killed.
The worst part is poor Shanahan. Poor Shanahan gets in there for a 5-minute major and just get boom, 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 boom. He's just getting double. Yeah.
Alrighty, boys. We have a new sponsor coming on the podcast, the Goalie Factory. So their new segment, our new segment, the one that we shared together, is time for Who's Hot, Who's Not, brought to you by the Goalie Factory, where they don't just train goalies, where they can build complete athletes from camps, elite one-on-one goalie in Langley, BC, to full online coaching you can access anywhere. Goalie Factory delivers technical excellence and athletic precision. Goalie Factory, built different, located in Langley, BC. Use promo code LooseMesh for 15% off on your first order. Who's hot, who's not, Frick?
Well, I think we got to go obviously with who's hot first, and that's the new Westminster kid, William Malcolm. Like he had his defenders looking like they were on rollerblades. He owned, and I mean owns, the best goalie in the league in Christian Del Bianco, and you just couldn't stop him. So for my who's hot as a forward this week, that's going to be one William Malcolm.
My who's hot is the Colorado defense, because to me, I don't care new game or not, stopping that offense to 7 goals. Yeah, Dylan Moore was outstanding along with the defense, but I'm telling you, that offense has potent, and like you said, Hall of Famer, and they just played tough defense, and Dylan, they raided his wheelhouse, and that defense played like that. So little shout out to McBride too. Welcome back.
I totally agree with you, Frick. I'm going Will Malcolm. You can't go anywhere else this week. He's number one forward. Who's hot? Who's hot? Who's not defender?
I'm gonna go, and it's a little off the board because they lost, but I'm going with Callum Jones. I feel like his first game back after such a devastating injury last year, to get back in and just completely change. And I think for the better, and I think in the long run, this is what's going to help them be successful, is he completely changed their transition game, right? He pushes the floor better than most guys in the league. He's big, he's strong, he's fast, and he's physical on the back end. So for my who's hot defender this week, I'm going to go with Callum Jones.
Oh, it's who's hot defender.
Yeah.
Oh, who's hot? All right. Well, okay. For who's hot, I'm going to take my boy, number 27 for the Toronto Rock. Bad shoulder pads, but I'm going with him.
What's his name? Do you remember his name, Toller?
No, I just go number 27. Kelleher.
Hugh Kelleher.
He played a hell of a game. And if I would say someone else that played a great game, I would say Michael Grace from Georgia.
That's my who's hot.
Oh,
4 assists, an absolutely weapon for Georgia. Transitioning the ball up the floor. I have him as my dark horse rookie of the year. Only 2, 3. I think there's only 3 defenders actually won that award since 2000. So he's my who's hot defender this week.
You know who else? You know who else is very good that played very well? The Albany Johansson. Is it Johansson, the defender?
Yeah.
Johansson.
Will Johansson.
Yeah, Will Johansson. He was real good too. Good too.
They're super high on him in Oshawa as well. Oshawa, not Albany. Oshawa.
Real good. Yeah,
Oshawa, your old hometown, Oshawa.
Yeah, I know.
Fricky, who's hot for goalie this week?
Well, like, I'm not gonna steal Toller's because I know who he wants to say because he's been giving him a little tug job all pod. But I'm gonna go with the Six Nations
That's what I was going with.
Oshawa goaltender, Douglas Jameson. Like, I think we can start a GoFundMe, maybe get him a little bit of a trim upstairs because that hair is just getting absolutely out of control. But the calmer and the more sturdy that Dougie plays, the better that he is, right? And I had a couple buddies in the crowd, but he goes, it just looks like he doesn't care. And I think that's what makes him so good, right? Like my buddy he goes, they took a shot in the second quarter and it hits the post, and Dougie's rubbing his post in the middle of the play. The ball's still in his end. Right. And my buddy's like, there's no way that he's that calm. And I'm like, Andy, like he is, man. Like see, it's like the old baseball analogy, right? See ball, hit ball. For Dougie, it's see ball, stop ball. Like it's crazy.
And the reason I'm going with Dougie instead of my boy Dylan Ward there is because Colorado put Vancouver in a spot where Dylan Ward owned it. To me, Dougie made some outstanding saves, like some saves that usually go in. And like I said, I want to go on whatever goalie had a better percentage. I bet you they won this week. Easy,
good coach, good goalie.
Dougie,
good coach, good goalie.
Dougie straight across the board for all three of us on who's hot.
Oh, look at that. Clean sweep, Douglas.
That should be a prize.
Team, who's hot for your team this week?
Hot for a team?
Yeah, who's hot for a team?
I think that's San Diego for me, anyways. Right? Like not tooting my own horn here, but I feel like I seen one person pick them to win that game.
Yeah.
Right? Like everybody had written them off. Nobody gave them a shot. I don't get it. I didn't see too many people picking
San
them.
Diego all day.
I don't get it. Like you got to put a little respect on San Diego's name. And is Brody's part of that management staff now too, right?
But like Frick, you made the point is you can't bet on a team till they prove you they can beat teams. Like how are you going to say Ottawa's better than San Diego? San Diego like playoffs every year, fighting for a good spot.
Yeah,
great face-off guy, whatever. How can you not say that they're going to beat them? Like Ottawa's got to prove themselves. But one thing, like Frick, you said though about one thing I will say about Callum Jones because I love the kid too and I love the way he plays. I honestly think that game watching it, he tried to do too much. He tried to do the kid's an animal. Like we tried, like he is an animal machine. Like he's a great player, great leader. He does everything. But I honestly think he was trying to do too much. And then when you try to do too much outside your job, it makes you look bad in other ways. And I think he was just overcompensating that way. And I think Dan will probably have the talk with him. Hey, Cal, just be Callum. Don't worry about helping this guy or helping this guy or helping this guy. Be yourself, be the leader back there and run the show like you can. Because I'm telling you, there's not a guy pound for pound that hits harder. Not a guy in the whole league that hits harder than that guy.
They have a great relationship too, both being Burlington Minto Cup champions, right? So that's not even a hard conversation for Dano to have.
No. And for my team, then hot team, I'm gonna go with the big bad. I gotta go Colorado Mammoth to go in there and do what they did. Hey, you know what, Vancouver, you're supposed to win it. Well, we're not going anywhere. So see what happens.
I'm going Colorado with Util. I think it was too close of a game in Oshawa versus Toronto. I didn't like the full 60-minute effort in San Diego against Ottawa. So I got to go to Colorado for this week. So
you go up 6 buzz. You don't need to pull in a full 60. You just got to get. And Toller's going to know it's better than it.
Because last time I went up 6-0. You put up 30 on Vegas.
Push the gas pedal and don't stop, man. Who cares about anyone? Like, who cares? Send a message to the entire league.
This is the stat, Doss. You got one job to do before next week's thing. I want to help with this one, Frick. I would love to know how many games New York or Ottawa has won when Teeter hasn't scored in the first quarter or first half. I bet you that number is below 3.
0.0.
Okay, we'll go quickly with who's not. My who's not is Lyle Thompson. He's he didn't score this week. He has to be that guy for Georgia to sniff playoffs. He has to be. He's my who's not.
I'm going with Toller's boy, Peyton Cormier. I don't even know if he played.
He did play.
I don't know if he got a lot of looks though.
He did play, and
Me?
selfish.
Was he?
Yeah, selfish.
Wow. It's a lot of words.
5 pound, 4 ounce, largemouth selfish.
Yes.
Oh, wow. Holy moly. Well, to me, I'm not going one player. I'm going Vancouver's 5-on-5 offense. Awful. They got one goal, I think, 5-on-5.
Oh,
It's-
shots fired.
Yeah.
I hope
My
Mouse
who's-
doesn't listen.
My who's not, I'm sticking with Vancouver. I'm going Reese Callies. You have to figure out a way to stop Will McLeod. Sorry, not Will Malcolm. Will Malcolm, you have to figure out a way, and he just, again, he willed his way through you like a butter knife. You have to figure it out.
Oh.
He's my who's not.
I'm going to tell you one thing about Reese Callies. I've seen a lot of guys wear nice suits and dressed into a rink. He might have had one of the best suits on I've seen. Like, he looked like $1 billion. Like, he should have been going right to maybe the model. Like, should have took that game off, went to a model shoot instead. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah. That was mint.
That was Dane Smith, Josh Burns.
Like the little vest and everything. Man, he looks like. If I was
Sorry,
a chick,
you
I'm telling
You know what though? It doesn't matter when you lose. It just doesn't matter. That suit won't get worn again. That's like you got to wear the old dumpy suit, whatever it takes to win.
That new CBA money must be pretty good, eh?
Oh my God.
I heard he got a nice raise too. Aquilinis are taking care of those boys over there on the coast. Not like Uncle Joe money, but Aquilini money is not the worst either.
Yeah, not bad.
Fricky, who's not?
Defender, not hot this week. I'm gonna have to go. Like Grease Callies, I think has got to be the pick there. Like it's just like William had his way. Like you said it. William had his way. I don't like picking these guys too much.
Yeah, I don't like this either.
It's not the biggest slight on the world on anybody. And realistically, like, who gives a fuck what I say? I get it, but it's
just nothing against them. It's nothing.
No, they play bad games. We all play bad games.
Yeah.
My pick would be
had a bad career.
Yeah, my pick would probably be Paul Dawson. I think he struggled a little bit getting back into it after didn't play summer, and he got beat by Nolan Byrne underneath. He got beat a couple times underneath, and I think that going in the crease and blocking shots. Now you got to come out more and yeah, it might affect him a little. But like you said, it's one bad game. Who cares? Like, and they won, so he doesn't care. He gets ring after ring. So what's he care?
My who's not? I'm gonna go with Nick Rose. Just letting those 4 goals in, like
8 goals, he loses, and you're all over him, eh? Wow,
those 4 goals, man. They weren't pretty goals, and he's even wishing that he got them back too.
They told her they're backbreakers.
Oh, buddy, you're telling me on goalies?
And I'm jumping on Doss's team with this one too. It's 100%. It's Rosie. You gotta have those ones. Like Toronto just scores to bring them back to within 1, and then a low floater far side glove goes in.
You want to talk about the most painful thing, and watch how much happened in so many games when the team scored. The team scored, the next shift the other team scored. I used to say, and I used to put my best defender on after we scored because that is huge momentum. The next shift after, the team steals it back, and I used to throw my 5 best defenders and say, go get a stop here. This is momentum. Don't get scored on right back because it gives it back to them. And you watch how many games.
Especially when it's not like it wasn't. Neither one of them were good goals.
No,
like nobody made a play. The defense holds the fort for 27 seconds.
Oh, well,
and the guy mails it in from a stride in from the restraining line.
Yeah, if I'm Walker, I'm not even celebrating that one. I'm going right to the bench and just saying, "Yeesh."
Oh, it got bad. It got bad out there. Like it got bad out there.
Yeah. My who's not team. I'm going to pick up on Ottawa. I have to. You have to. After that lousy performance in the first half, I have to say, like, if you didn't have that performance in the first half, you're in the fight. But letting 6 go by and with no answer, I'm sorry. You're my who's not.
Yeah. Problem is there too, like you say, even if they win that game, maybe they get another 1,000. But instead of when they lose, now they lose 1,000. It's going to be tough sledding there.
Yeah, 100%.
Tough sledding in that country.
Frick, you agree there?
Yes, but my who's not hot team, and say to Mouse, I love you, but it's Vancouver. It has to be. It has to be
parlay, Fricky.
Oh my God! How taller you were pissed at that, weren't you? Like that would have been 3 sheets for the boys.
3.
3 sheets. On top of the 50 that you owe
in
me.
there too. Colorado just spoiling it. Okay, let's move on. I'm done with that.
On top of the 50 that you owe me.
Yeah, that'll be,
Are you ever
that'll
gonna
be
pay me
zero
that or
after this
what?
week. I'll take Halifax. You can have Ottawa.
Halifax and Ottawa?
And that was called
It's
reverse
Oshawa
psychology
and
anyway.
Halifax
I did that.
totally.
Hey,
They
Michael,
play
I did that for reverse psychology so we could win our parlay. That's called reverse
You're not-
psychology. I always do it. It
You-
works all the time.
You
It's like when Team Canada plays. When Team Canada plays USA in the finals, you bet 100 on the parlay with Team USA, but you want Canada to win. Canada wins, you're all happy. You lost 100. Team USA wins, money. I'll take the Canada loss. You got to fucking reverse psychology it.
You and Daily Dive with that Elmer's Glue subscription, eh? Just on glue right now. Jesus.
Alrighty, boys. Let's bring in Brett Dobson. He's winning in the background. Let's go.
Do I got time to get a pint?
This is the Oshawa, Ontario native who started playing his lacrosse with Whitby Minor before becoming a record-setting collegiate success and is on a rapid rise in the professional ranks. At St. Bonaventure University, he appeared in over 41 games in 4 seasons, logging over 2,100 minutes while compiling 569 saves, a .601 save percentage, and a 10.78 goals against average. In his senior year alone, he posted a .665 save percent and an 8.95 goals against average, setting school records for single season and saves with 252, entering the 2022 MAC Conference Defensive Player of the Year. Fast forward to the pros. Rookie season, Brett started all 18 games, logged 881 minutes, made 555 saves, and posted a .779 save percentage with a 10.69 GAA. Impressive enough to land an all-rookie team and finish runner-up for the NLL Rookie of the Year. A 2-time PLL champion, a 2-time championship game MVP. Let's welcome to the pod the 5-minute major man himself, Brett Dobson. Brett, how are you, fella?
I'm good, boys. I appreciate the intro, Frick.
Yeah, I know. Dauber, just to give you a quick thing is, Frick likes to give long introductions because his was so short the first episode. He likes to give long episodes because his was... I was runner-up for the 13th President's Cup in 1942, and I won the President's Cup as runner-up. All right, go ahead, Dobbs.
It's all about Tor. Okay, Dobbs, before we jump into the Brett Dobson story, let's just talk about one thing and one thing only. What was going through your head as you're sitting in the box with your goalie shit on for 5 minutes? Like, just getting razzled by the bandit land, too. Like, what is Brett Dobson thinking in this moment?
Well, first thing I was thinking of was, well, fuck, that was a dumb penalty. That was dumb to take at that time of the game, and I think that, you know, I got to be a little bit better, and I was just praying to God. Shanny bailed me out, and he did a damn good job of it. So those are the two things that were going through my mind. I didn't really get to really soak in everybody around the box because I was kind of like not really looking at them. I kind of wish I got a chance to kind of look around because like my strength and conditioning coach from Bonnie's was like 2 or 3 rows over from where I was to the penalty box, and he was just howling at me sitting at the box with my gear full padded up. So yeah, those were the first 2 things, and then you know, I was kind of just, it sets in that he took a 5-minute major, and I wasn't too pleased about that later on.
But Dauber, we did say he kind of was in your crease. Like when you watch the replay, you weren't outside the crease yet. You got him. He was on the corner of your crease. He actually, where your feet were, you got him inside the crease. I thought that's what Eddie was complaining about.
No, I think it was more about the rule. Like, I mean, to be fair, like I you know, got him a little higher than things would have been like to if you watched the play, and I think that the whole crease thing kind of goes out the window when your hands are above someone's head, you know. So I was joking with my family group chat, told her, and my sister, I don't know if you watch the Sixes stuff, she let somebody up in the Sixes championship against the U.S., and it was something in the family.
That. I'm just telling you right now, my daughter grew up playing hockey and lacrosse with Dauber's sister. And I'm telling you, there wasn't a meaner girl in either sport. She would chop her best, like she was mean beyond mean. If someone I'm telling you right now, she was the dirtiest, meanest lacrosse hockey player. She was legit. When I used to coach the defense, I'd like, Dauber, get her. And she just cross-checked some girl right in the back.
She is real legit. Like, she's good. Mean. She's good.
Yeah. Powerful.
Dauber, we have to ask this question. You're standing over Ian McKay. There's some beacon afterwards. Can you tell us and take us into that moment? What are you exactly telling them?
I don't think I opened my mouth, to be honest with you. I was kind of surprised that like it happened, and like I kind of looked at him and like laughed, and I think I kind of blacked out too. Think about it. Like I think it was more
You
so
took
just
two
like.
steps to the right and stood over him. Don't,
I don't recall saying anything
don't
to
lie to
him.
the boys.
You
I'll be straight with you.
him bad. Come on.
I know it was
Robert,
bad. Like
you got him straight in the
I know. And I'm gonna have to probably pay the consequences of it too, boys. It's not gonna be a nice phone call for Mr. Lemon this week when I get it.
Oh,
Are you serious? It's coming down or what?
You think
I
Lemon's
haven't
calling you?
heard. I wouldn't be surprised. I got an email today about
No.
a statement for it, so
Tell him you
it'll
hit
be
him
a
in the
fine
chest,
for
just
sure.
hit him in the chest first and raised up.
Dobby, you send the bill this way. You send the bill this way. I'll pay that.
His way, not mine and Toll's way. You sent it to Dawson.
You send the bill this way. I'll pay for it.
Toll's
We got a couple.
Robert,
We've got a couple
stop him,
sponsored.
Like,
The
you're
Goalie
faking
Factory will
whatever.
pay
I
for
thought
it.
that's what you're initially saying, Dobby. You're giving the old get up, you're faking. You dropped him.
I know. I don't have the stones to say it. And I like Mickey too. Like he's a good guy.
Oh, good guy,
I feel,
yeah.
I feel
100%.
terrible about it. You know.
He shouldn't have been standing there. That's his fault. He shouldn't
Robert,
have been
I'm telling you
standing
to
there.
play, buddy. I go back and look at your feet. I think you're in the crease, buddy. I'm telling you right now. Go take a
Yeah,
close look at it.
Maybe we'll bring you in if anything has to be appealed. Paul. You'll
No,
be
it's
on
not the
the-
OLA. I
Oh.
can't do it. NLL don't mind me. OLA is a different story.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
Dob, growing up in Oshawa, what did the goalie culture look for you, and when did you know that you were built for the crease?
That's a great question. I actually started out playing as a player. Up until about novice age, I switched over to being a goalie. I was, I was a hockey goalie at the time, and our goalie got heat stroke, and my dad was the coach one game, and he's like, "Hey, you're going to net." I was like, "All right, let's see what happens here." And I wanted to be anything to help the team, right? So I kind of enjoyed it. And the next year, I was diagnosed with diabetes, so I made the switch fully over, and I felt like it was easier for me to maintain my blood sugar levels doing that, and I felt like I might have been maybe a little better at goalie than I was at player, so I might have stuck with it. And as I got older, I'm a little bit lazier, so I don't like to run as much. So I decided to stick with it, and it was pretty cool. It was unique. I was lucky enough to play for Willie all the way through minor and into junior, and I felt like that opportunity to play for him is really eye opening. It allowed me to kind of see what being a pro lacrosse player looked like, and being around him and going to watch him play in the pros and in the summer. I think that kind of access to some of the pros and was huge for me. I remember watching a lot of Patty O'Toole, and I'm convinced that's why I'm like a lefty in net, is watching him play. But I think that growing up there and seeing that there was a lot of good goalies ahead of me, is something to kind of appreciate. And I think that, honestly, I didn't really know what I was doing at the time, and I'm kind of surprised it's lasted this long and I've made it to this point now. But overall, I wouldn't change it.
Well, our first rule of loose mesh is don't keep answering other questions. Please just answer the question asked, so that my question always gets dropped.
He doesn't know the questions like Mitch Jones did. We have ever since you complained about that, we haven't sent them to the boys to get pre approvals just because gotta keep Steve
Well,
happy.
you answered that one pretty much, but I want to ask this one. I don't even know if it's on here because I never read Doss's script. I just go down and go, just kind of the way I roll.
I give you
want to
guys
know,
base
Out
questions.
of all the shots you faced in field lacrosse, which one hurt you the most? Like, which one do you just do you just remember still to this day where it came from or who from or where did it hit you? That just obviously field lacrosse goal, you're not all there. Everyone knows goalies field lacrosse aren't all there. So which one really decided ow, ow, ow?
I think there was one this summer. It was Graham Bundy. He hit me square in the back of the hamstring from a 2-pointer. Yes. And it was my whole leg was black and blue leaking down the back of it. I'll pull the photo up for it if you guys want to see it. It was brutal. But yeah, it hit me and it went in. So it was a 2-pointer and it was kind of a pivotal shot. So that was probably one of the worst parts.
That's a 3-pointer.
Josh Byrne hit me in the arm one time. Yeah, seriously. Byrne got me in the arm one time, square off the screen, short side, and just thud right in the arm. And it was there for a couple of weeks. So that was no good.
So that wouldn't look good for your GQ modeling when you're coming off the bus or all that, posing in front of the crowd, though, either, too. That's going to hurt your GQ, too.
I know, and I'm already behind the 8 ball. My attributes that my parents gave me. They're not the best, eh?
Oh, don't be chirping the rents here, eh? Your parents are great people. I love the Daubers.
Oh,
yeah, I know.
Two
they're the
teachers.
best.
They spend money like the best of them.
Yeah, exactly, eh?
All right, Dauber. One among many reasons why I got so much respect for you is the work that you do with the diabetic community and being a type 1 diabetic yourself. So you already kind of touched on when you were diagnosed. How did that kind of like reshape your journey? And just for context, my mom is also a type 1 diabetic, so I've lived with it firsthand and seeing the ups and downs and seeing like the drastic, how your blood sugar can just change on a drop of a dime. So, just like for that alone and all the work you do, I want to say thank you from that half of the community. But like, what exactly, like, how does that reshape the way that you have to play and also the way that you have to prepare for a game?
Yeah, I think that, for me, when I was younger, I actually had the opportunity of a guy who played in the OHL by the name of Lee Salters speak to me, and I thought that was the coolest thing in the world as a kid. When you get to see someone that you go to games, you pay money to go watch, and he's taking his time to come see you and talk to you, I felt like that type of experience for me was huge. There's an old picture for the Jays I got to get in contact with, so I felt for me being able to see that and be able to pay it forward as I got older and have a platform to do it now has been huge. I felt like for a while. I kind of struggle with talking about that a bit just because, you want to be normal, you want to fit in. And I felt like, it takes a time for people to kind of get to understand what you're doing and what you're going through. And once I kind of got over that, it's been awesome. I know this past week and I had the opportunity to meet a really unique situation, a kid by the name of Brett, who is also a goalie, who's got type 1 diabetes, who shares the same pump as me. And I thought that was really cool. He might have been the only Bandits fan in there that might have wanted to take a photo with me after the game last weekend. But no, I do think that
wasn't from Mickey's family.
Yeah, seriously. But I do think it changes the way I approach things, and being able to make sure I'm kind of dialed in on my blood sugars throughout the night, because especially in boxing, if I don't take care of that, it can be tough to perform the next day. And I feel like the margins in the NLL are so thin that if you're not taking care of business outside of it, you're gonna have a tough time in net. And I think that just the way that, again, I like to compete, I like to play hard. I think that this is just something I have to add to it, something more that I need to do. And if I can take care of that and be on top of it, it's going to allow me to be successful out there. And I think that as a goalie, you gain a lot of experience playing, but I think with diabetes each year, I kind of learn something new and add something new to it. So being able to monitor and manage it is important, and having a really good training staff. I'm blessed to have really good trainers in Georgia and with the Archers to be able to do it. And when I first got drafted to Georgia and I moved down here, our trainer was also a type 1 diabetic at the time, so he completely understood what was going on, and I felt like it was the perfect fit for me too.
Oh my God! Did you see the latest transaction? Ian McKay out with concussion. Done.
I'm sure, right?
He'll be back for the power play.
Let's talk about I've seen the photo with you and the kid. What was your message to him? Like, what's the message to any kid that's watching who's type 1 diabetic? What's your message?
I would say whatever your hopes and dreams are is to, go chase them. I think that when people are able to see me living out a dream that I had when I was a kid, I think it goes a long way. And I think that, for them, they're sometimes pretty starstruck. I know young Brett, didn't get too many words out, so being able to kind of, interact with him as much as I can and take a photo is something that I'm sure he'll cherish the same way that I cherish those memories when I was younger, right? So I would say to, again, just, take care of your diabetes things, and you can kind of conquer anything.
Coming up through Wimpy, developed poised early. What shaped your calm demeanor in high-pressure junior games?
It's a good question. I think it's crazy to think about it, though, but I feel like, that's kind of what you want to play for. You want to be in those big games. You can either kind of shy away from it, or you can kind of rise to the occasion. I think for myself, I was never really growing up, and sometimes I'm still not now a practice player. I was more of a gamer myself, so I think as the games got bigger, I thought the better I kind of played. And I think that when you're in minor and you're going through junior, you're playing so many like big games, whether it be provincials and field or box, or just so many tournaments you play, and combine those with the endless amounts of mini sticks or road hockey games or mini lacrosse games you're playing with the boys. Like, you want to, if you're playing game 7 in the basement, it's like 2 or 3 in the morning on a Friday night, you want to be able to kind of prepare. So I feel like just kind of being in situations like that allowed me to kind of be successful. And I think that kind of keep myself in the moment and not kind of being too big and too ahead of it, I think is a big part of that too.
All right, Dauber, those 21-22 seasons being canceled, and you guys in Whitby, like that was a prime age group for you guys to go on and compete and win a Minto Cup. What was your reaction when you realized that those doors would be completely closed for you?
Looking back at it now, I mean, I'm disappointed. I think that every kid dreams about winning a Minto, and I think that, I'll die on the hill that I think that our team could have got it done, and we would have been back to back those 2 years. And I think that
Yeah.
the team that won it the year afterwards, I felt like they were really good. I felt like we were so much deeper
Yeah.
the year prior to that.
Stacked roster, stacked.
Like loaded. Like if you look at like our whole offense, our whole offense was first round picks in the NLL basically, and 1 second round pick, and I felt like we had a really good group of guys, and Willie was a great coach, and I felt like we had a good opportunity to do it. Again, it's a shitty situation that COVID happened, and we didn't get to make the most of it, but at the end of the day, it's one of those what if stories that hey, we would have won that if what if COVID didn't happen, right?
Funniest or most unhinged junior story you could actually tell on the podcast, so you can't sue anyone else.
And you can tell anything. You just gotta hide names. You can tell anything.
Yeah.
We'll just hide names.
I'm trying to think because it's been a while now, but I'll keep it within the pod. I think one of the funnier ones is like just Frick being at the back of the bus playing cards with me, it'd always be me and Dice. We would be playing what was it called, euchre at the back of the bus.
Euchre.
It'd be Frick
Me and Watso.
It'd be
Me and
me
Watso.
Dice playing together. Dice would just be pissed at me because I would call something that was not the right call.
Oh, you were
losing money.
Tor-
Afraid center to Frick.
Tor, he was terrible. He's an awful card player. He's an awful card player.
Buddy, Jay, Luke, and I took about $1,000 off Chicky and Perna. We played on the bus the whole time, and Luker sat in front of me, and his cards literally faced me the whole time, and I could see his hand, and then he'd be like, "Oh, what a call!" And they never caught on for like 2 years. We used to like thousands of dollars. Wow, you guys win a lot. Like, how stupid are you guys? I can see his whole card. We did the old 2-1 trump. We used to cheat bad at cards. Bad.
All right, so
Speaking.
Dyson's too nice. Dyson wouldn't cheat if you paid him to cheat. That's the problem.
Oh no, he would, and that's where me and that's where me and Watso had him is because I had no problem cheating. Like I had no problem at all, just shuffling them up, a couple jacks here, a couple jacks there.
Yeah. Dauber's 50-50, Dyson's 100 and 0, and you guys are 0 and 100 the other way.
I still do that though, Frick. Eh? You know how you used to do the deal? You do the 1-4-1-4, and then do 4-1-4-1, or the 2-3-3-2,
Yeah.
whatever.
That's illegal, by the way.
Yeah.
I know.
It's sprinkle. It's sprinkle. It's perfect.
Yeah,
It's perfect.
I still
Hey,
I do that now.
Talking about my old Ukes partner, Joey Watson. The boys want to know, confirm or deny, he used to pack Watso's bag on road trips.
Yeah, when I was a rookie, I had it coming.
Attaboy.
Well, I think Watso had a couple leftover. He wasn't too happy with my old man being his phys ed teacher a couple times at Austin, so I think he was taking it out on me a bit. But you know what? If I'm someone's rookie, I'm going to try to do the best of my abilities. And it's not easy being a young guy stepping into a room with a bunch of older guys. So especially if I'm trying to be a good goalie partner, and I'm sure at times I probably wasn't, and I'm glad that Watso was able to kind of humble me a bit with that. And I had a lot of good times with Watso as a goalie.
I'm surprised it wasn't stopped at a few McDonald's on the way there before he had to pack his bag and take the Mickey D's and Burger King. I'm just saying.
Watso, that wasn't fun in that.
Watso, that was Toller. I wasn't Frick. That was Toller, Watso. Just so you know, I love you, buddy. I love you.
Dauber, take us through the NCAA recruiting and only being offered by St. Bonaventure.
Yeah, it was a pretty interesting journey for me. I remember my first ever visit was to Salisbury University. Went there, thought it was the coolest thing in the world, but it was D3 and they didn't really have any scholarship offers, so we were kind of like, well, this isn't really going to cut it. And for me, I kind of wanted to follow the steps of my parents and be a phys ed teacher. I felt like that was something that I wanted to do. So looking into it, there's certain schools that had programs that come back to Canada, and at the time, Canisius and Coach Mearns was an option. So I had visited there, loved Coach Mearns, really wanted to play for him, but he never really was able to get back on a phone call for me to tell me they didn't have any money. So as that was going on, my sister committed to Jacksonville. I was convinced that I wanted to go to Jacksonville. I thought it would be really cool. I was at the Hill, and Cam Mann kind of started the program there, and I felt like, hey, this would be pretty cool. And I wish I kind of knew that earlier, that how cold some of the practices might have been up north. Heading down south would have been a little better on the weather front, but that just didn't work out either. And luckily Coach Mearns took the job at St. Bonaventure, and I was able to get the first phone call and be his first visit, first recruit, and first commit to the Bonnies. And I felt like I took a lot of pride in being able to build a program. And I get made fun of today too about how passionate I am about the Bonnies, but it's true. Like, I got a lot of love and joy for that university and all the things I've learned there, and the relationships I've had there, and the buddies that went to school with me, and how many guys that were in my class now that play in the NLL, and I think that it's pretty unique. And honestly, having Mearnsy coach me too was awesome. We could sit here and talk Mearnsy stories for hours.
You can just tell. You can just tell Toller's biting at the bit back there, waiting to tell him Mearnsy story. So Toller, make it quick. I know you got to go to bed soon, so make your Mearnsy story quick. Let's go.
I'm telling you right now, though, no one. I've never played with a guy. He always roomed with Stevie Fidel when we were Niagara Falls Gamblers. Fidel. And everywhere we traveled, and we had sleepover, we went to the Man Cup. Mearnsy, I've never knocked on a door more and seen a guy naked with a Ryan Coke and a cigarette and glasses like this on. Hey, Dolly, come on in, buddy. Just me and Stevie in there. Like he was an absolute weapon. No one could pound Rye and have a cigarette and glass. Oh, he's an absolute beauty. But what a player he was too. What a player.
I'll put him up, and we had this. So when you graduate as a seniors, you get your kind of piss up with your coaches. I don't think there's anyone that I could see throwing back like Mearnsy does, and that's the ultimate compliment I can give him. And at the age he's at, he's not slowing down, and he's just a riot when it goes on, and I love it. I'm kind of glad I didn't see that till after I graduated, but he's a different beast when it comes to that stuff, and I love him for that.
Albert, you talked about the novice taking over. I believe it was I was told this story. I can't remember who told me, but it was a girl, and then she went to St. Bonaventure with you as well.
Yeah, she was the girl goalie on the women's lacrosse team, same class as me, which was a pretty unique story too to have. That she ended up there with me, and I wouldn't be here technically without her getting heat stroke, So it's a good story to tell.
Who was that?
Her name was Haley McIntyre. She played box goalie for us a bit. I believe she played some field and the Lady Blue Knights side of things too, but she played a lot of box goalie as well.
All right, so after a legendary career at Bonnie, I think the hierarchy goes Woj and then you, right? So you're debating on whether or not we're going NLL draft or we're gonna go and live our dream and go to a place like Hughes or go to a place with one of your best buddies, Dyson Williams, down at Duke. How hard or how easy of a choice was that? And did you feel pressure walking away from such big schools like Duke or Syracuse, or was this just I'm made to be a professional goalie, I'm just going to go and jump in the pro ranks right now?
I think for me, there was a lot of hard no's in that situation, and I didn't really think out of the possibility of me getting drafted right then and there was a capability. I remember taking a visit to Duke right before the season started, and for those of you that don't know, my dad's a big Duke basketball fan. Our family dog was named Duke, and I was convinced that I wanted to go there and be with Dice, and it would have been a really cool story to have, just being able to grow up with him and play with him and go there. But you kind of look at it and some of the logistics stuff and some of the programming. I remember trying to ask them if I could just take the classes the basketball guys were taking for the one and done, because I was. As much as it is a pretty good education school, I wanted to be able to utilize it from the lacrosse perspective.
Yeah, you're not going there to learn.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going there to play school. Did the visit there, thought it was really cool, and just seeing kind of how those facilities were compared to the ones we had at Bonnie's and the money that gets funded into those ACC programs was really unique and cool to see. And so leaving there, but knowing they didn't really necessarily have any money. Again, they were loaded too. They had Dice, they had Brent O'Neill, they had McAdory coming in. They had Kenny Brower. All these guys that were nasty. And I was like, okay, we'll play it out. We'll kind of keep the communication going. And as the school year kind of progressed, it started leaning more and more towards hey, you know what? I might declare for the draft. And after I declared for the draft, Gary had reached out to me about going to Cuse, and that might have been one of the harder no's I've had to say, just because I'd already declared, and Syracuse was going to offer me a pretty good package that would have, been able to help me out and my family financially, and I felt like, it would have been a really cool place to play, and all the, the dome and the media coverage that they get was really cool, but I look back at it and I feel like the decision I made wasn't the worst decision I made, and it worked out pretty well in the situations that I'm in now, and being lucky enough to win 2 championships with the Archers after that.
NLL draft night, where were you? Who were you with? And what was the moment felt like for when you get drafted?
For the NLL or for the PLL
Yeah,
or both? NLL. I was actually at a
What a steal.
semifinal PLL game in my rookie year. I had called Coach Bates and I was like, hey, I know the PLL and the NLL are 2 different leagues. The draft's on Friday. We got practice. Is there any way that I can kind of skip it? I'll be here for the game. He was like, listen, we kind of need you here, type of deal. It's like, okay, no worries, Coach. I'll be there anyways. Don't worry about it.
Wow. What a dick.
I'm watching.
Not having pull yet.
Yeah, so I can see it from his side and understand it completely. And honestly, it was the right decision to be there anyways. But, going through the draft, I remember we were flying out of Buffalo, and I'm flying with Fieldsy, Dane Smith, Mickey, Josh Byrne, and I'm like, kind of have no idea what's going to happen in the draft. I had a bit of an idea, but I wasn't too sure. I was a little on edge, and I was really just hoping for the flight to land so I can watch the draft and see what was going to happen. Kind of landed, and we started watching the picks. And I originally thought I was going to go kind of around the 5 or 6 area to Sask at the time, because I don't necessarily think they had a goalie, and I don't think Skiggs was there yet. And I talked to Jammer in the summer briefly about it, and that didn't kind of go through. They went a different direction. That was okay, and I think that John kind of saw that and moved a pick and thought I could slide to 11. Where all the teams in front of him kind of were there. So as the draft's going on, the picks are getting later. I'm kind of back at the hotel where the PLL stuff, and I'm trying to pick up my shafts. And as the 11th pick rolls around, I run into like Brian Cole and Connor Kersh right before the pick is announced. And I'm talking to them, and I hear my name get announced. It was one of the cooler scenarios there. Those guys both played for the Swarm, and it was really cool just to kind of see the foreshadowing of that. And being able to get drafted to the Swarm was, for me, it was obviously a dream come true. And I was really happy to be in a position where, I had a guy like Pooley there that could help guide me in my first year. And I felt like there was a lot of ups for me and a lot of downs. And I felt like he was able to kind of navigate them instead of it being kind of like this. It was more kind of a little bit of a smoother trajectory. And I felt like, it was the best fit for me being down south. I mean, I can't complain. If it was between the weather in Georgia or the weather in Sask, I think the weather in Georgia would top that. And I think that, life's pretty good down south here.
Hey, wait before we move on here. Told, do you want to tell them why, Panther City didn't take him? You want to talk about that or what?
Oh.
We took Goats and Jason Knox that draft. Yeah, Goats and Knox before Dauber.
We already had 2 goalies.
They had Dobson.
Yeah, yes, that's true. That's true. Yeah, I forgot that they had to. I thought they got Demuth later on.
It's not breaking news.
Yeah.
You're not breaking any news here, Doss.
Well, Doss, too, I think as a smart coach and GM, you got to draft your needs, right? And I think that, if some people might say, hey, draft the best player available or draft your needs as a team. And I think that when you're in the business of winning championships, you got to draft what your team needs. And, Toler's a smart coach. He was doing what his team needed.
I thought you were going 6th in that draft. Like, I thought you were going to Sask. I was surprised when they, I think they took Austin that year, didn't they?
Yeah. They took Madronic, and you know what? Everything works out for a reason, and they have a really good goalie in Skiggs now too, and I think that you know what, their team's a hell of a team, man. We lost some of the playoffs last week. Like they're fucking legit.
Yeah. First season in Georgia, all 18 games. What made you grab the net immediately, and what was like your, hey, holy shit, I'm in the NL?
Well, I do gotta correct you guys. I didn't start the first 2. I remember when I kind of got to the rink the first game. I'm swinging the door, and you know how Eddie's up on the top of the bench. He comes down, he shakes my hand right before the first face-off, and he's like, "Hey, welcome to the league, kid. This is the NLL. Enjoy it, soak it all in." And I was like, you know what? That's pretty cool. I'm gonna do that. Second game, I ended up getting in, and then the third game, I was. It was after Christmas. We had a bunch of bye weeks in between. It was one of those weird schedules where you play a game, you have a week off, play a game, then you have 2 weeks off. And I'm at Costco. I just visited the Warrior headquarters with my dad, and we're kind of getting acclimated to living down in Georgia and helped me move in and stuff. And I got a phone call from Chai originally. He's kind of going through a bunch of stuff, and they hadn't told me I was starting yet. And I like kind of stopped shy, and I was like, "Am I playing this weekend? Is this why you kind of called me?" He's like, "Oh, I can't really tell you, but I'll let the big man call you and tell you." So I like with my dad, like, "Dad, we gotta go home. I gotta go watch this film. I think I might be playing." Eddie calls me later. He says, "Hey, we're going with you to start. We're playing the Bandits, who at that point I think had just lost the championship to Colorado." So it was kind of like, okay, like this is gonna be a a big game. And my welcome to the league moment was, I think they had 6 shots on net, and 5 of them went in the first 6 shots. And before the game, my dad and I were debating about.
last week, are we?
No. That was shot for shot. Anything on net was going that week.
Toller's on
but,
one. That's like his third blue can. He's on one right now.
Exactly, he's well oiled. But my dad and I were debating about, like, hey, should we tell your mom to fly down here? And the consensus after the game was, well, you know what? It's probably a good thing we didn't tell your mom to come down here, because I was out of the net early and went back to finish it out later. But that was my kind of welcome to the NLL, my first start. And I remember texting Wardo after that. He's like, "Yeah, don't worry, man. I had the same thing happen to me. I think we played Sask when they were like a wagon in a dynasty, and similar thing. It was like 8 or 9 goals to start the game, and he was out of there quickly. So it's nice to hear that I wasn't the only one that had those types of situations that happened."
So with Georgia giving you such confidence as a young goaltender, how did that kind of change your mindset moving forward? And then just a quick follow-up, do you have any advice for young 18-year-old Caleb Kahn, who's going to be making his NLL debut at some point this season?
Yeah, I think that when a team believes in you and trusts in you, and you know what, I'm extremely grateful to have played under such a great leadership group with Jordan McIntosh, Brian Cole, and Shane Jackson, and having those guys kind of in my ear allows me to have confidence. And I think that when a team believes in you, and you can see the belief in you, it's exhilarating, not only through yourself, and your confidence shoots through the roof, but it allows teams to kind of believe in the locker room, and it makes it tough to play against them. And I'd say advice for a young goalie is, you're going to make mistakes, you're gonna go through ups and downs, but I think that just embrace it. It's part of the grind. Like I'm in year 4 now. I'm still making some dumb mistakes sometimes, and I'm still learning. And I think that one of the things I've learned over time is that you're not going to learn everything right away. You're going to go through different experiences that are going to shape you as a goalie, and it's going to allow you to develop and be where you're at. Like, I know for myself, like, one of the most important, influential things I've had to go through it was the Team Canada tryouts. I felt like I left that tryout being like, hey, like, I'm not where I need to be, and I'm not physically ready yet for that. And I felt like that was an eye-opening experience for me. And I felt like that allowed me to kind of see where I need to kind of take my game to if I want to be at that level. And I felt like, you can think you're good at something, but sometimes you can go back to the drawing board and keep adding layers to your game and think that. So that's kind of some of the advice I would give him.
Well, again, you answered the question I was going to ask. I don't like all of this, so I'm going to skip to my next question. Now that the dust has settled, where do you think the league is headed in terms of growth, schedule, expansion, and how players are going to be treated moving forward?
That's a great question. I think being a guy kind of in both leagues, it's going to be interesting to see how that kind of navigates. I think that, there is a lot of opportunity for people to be doing lacrosse full-time. And I think when guys are able to do lacrosse full-time and put everything towards it, the product, the game is a lot better. And I think that people are able to take it a lot seriously. And I think that, maybe we'll see an expansion team here or there come in, or some relocations of a couple of teams. But I do think that, I think give it to like 2029, I think it's going to skyrocket. I think the Olympics is going to be a huge factor into it. And anyone that wants to be an Olympic athlete or play in the Olympics for lacrosse, and we're hoping that it's in the next Olympics after that, is going to want to play box lacrosse and learn, right? And I think that guys who have played field for most of their life that come over and play box love it. And I think the guys that sometimes play box and go play field kind of attached to it as well. And I think that those things kind of both go hand in hand with it. And I don't think they're going anywhere. So I think that maybe there's talks about moving the schedule around to kind of, maybe have the NLL play in the summer and the PLL move up in the spring, and kind of use the summer ball stuff as minors. I don't know if that's really the best option, but it all depends on businesses, right? Like, no one wants to be outside in the hot and when it's humid, right? They'd rather probably be indoors. So I'm curious to see where it kind of goes in the next couple of years. And I think that it's going to be important for the growth of the league moving forward.
You're a player rep for Georgia.
Hold on a sec, Toss. So that's the second time from a relatively big name in the PLL that I've heard this kind of comment come from. Do you think this is an actual possibility? And for people that don't know, there's talks about the PLL moving to kind of more the collegiate season and have a little bit more into the spring and kind of tie into the spring a little bit more. Do you think that's a realistic possibility, or do you think that's just people blowing smoke?
No, I personally believe it's a realistic possibility, but I also believe if they're going to move up, it's going to end sooner. I think the NLL could also move up too, because I don't think there's anything going on in the rinks in September, like early October time, right? So if it's going to move up, I think we kind of could still keep the same kind of correlation with the schedules and follow along with it, and move along off it. Right? If our off season's only in October, well, maybe it's in September now, or and the season starts in October, right? So I do think it's a possibility. But it also, again, it's most of these businesses are large businesses that bring in a lot of money. So at some point, the finances are gonna have to look at it, and I'm hoping that we won't have to pick between either leagues. But at the end of the day, I'm sure at some point it might have to happen if no one wants to kind of work together.
You were a player rep for Georgia during the CBA negotiations. What was that like for you personally? Like the calls, the pressure, the responsibility to tell your teammates of what's going on. What was that like for you?
I'm getting a beer. I know this answer.
I think for myself it was interesting. I'm only in my fourth year in the league, right? Like some things and experiences are things that I think might be different than a guy like Matt Beers or Paul Dawson or those older guys, right? That work different jobs and don't do lacrosse full time. So I think treading lightly, but at the same time being able to value and give your opinion on what you think that matters most. And I think that when you talk to a lot of different reps around the league and talk to guys, you're able to kind of get a consensus on it. And I want to tip my cap to Zach and Reed. Like I thought they did a great job negotiating, and from where they were before that to getting it to where it is now. And for myself, I'm grateful. Like this is my full-time job. So if we didn't have a start to the season, it would have been a tough paying the bills, tough paying the rent, tough getting the rent checks coming in to be able to afford life, right? So, I'm happy that they got the job done. I thought they did a great job on the CBA, and I felt like I'm just happy that lacrosse season's here. I had a long off season with the PLL, so I'm excited to just be playing lacrosse and seeing the boys again.
So, like most of the fans, like they don't get, or they're not very privy to some of the information that a guy like Dawson gets, or Toller, who's just kind of coming out of the league, or people who decide just to kind of tell me stuff for some reason. So we only like most fans only really get to see the headlines, right? Like what's the side, like the side of the sport, like the business side that most people don't see, like during a process like this.
Yeah, I think and myself personally, I was never on any of the calls with some of the owners. I know there's options for that, but there are civil calls that go on between the ownership groups and our player reps, as well as the guys who represent the PA. And I think that those kind of conversations are the ones that kind of get the ball rolling for where we are now. And I felt like there's a lot of Zoom calls with a lot of people that have been through this stuff before and kind of relay information. One of the biggest things I think is Zach and Reed hear something from their own personal meetings of the league. They come back and report to us. We report back to our team. We talk to them about it, and we bring any information back from that and send it up there. So I think from that perspective and seeing the logistics of behind-the-scenes stuff is big. And obviously one of the things they were pushing for is being able to have kind of financial transparency and in good faith to negotiate stuff. And I think that that's going to be huge moving forward for the league.
All right, so let's move on to the PLL a little bit here. Your game against the Chaos.
I got back to this question.
Yeah, your game against the Chaos, where you almost had a shutout going into the last couple minutes. Like what's going through your head?
Okay, wait, not the last couple minutes. Buddy shot the ball when he could have wasted the time clock when they already wasted. Don't say last couple minutes. Like that shot, I forget who did it.
It was Mac O'Keefe, and don't worry.
I was so
we got the hammer
mad.
Down in the court for that.
I
that
was
not
so mad.
Okay. We're changing the question. What was the fine at Kangaroo Court?
I've seen Stevie Selfish before, but that one wins the grand prize.
What's the fine for that in Kangaroo Court? Like, what did he get hit with?
A rich American, it should be fined about $500,000 and gave Dauber a free house in Bora Bora.
I was generous with him. I only gave again, you got to tread lightly. It's a little different in court in the PLL than it is in the NLL, but it was $100 fine for him. in the court. It was that for them is a lot compared to what it usually is. It's usually $25 max. But it was yeah. You know what though? It was
Robert,
a
stop
funny
being nice. You gotta
situation.
be nice. The worst thing is, like you could. Why are you shooting? What are you doing? We're winning, but like, what are you doing? You don't realize you. I would have went down there and high sticked him like you did to freaking. You should have done, Robert.
Just give him a Mickey shot.
Oh, I could not believe that, Dauber. I remember watching that game still. I was like, Dauber's gonna get shut out. Dauber's gonna get shut out.
I was so pissed.
You
So pissed.
Buddy.
Weren't
Yeah,
weren't we watching that on Appleby Court or Appleby Crescent?
I don't know, but I'm telling you, it was embarrassing.
honestly, it was for us though. Like playing in it, like we had never beaten those guys in the playoffs. Like they were always our kryptonite. So to kind of beat them,
Shut out in pro lacrosse, field
Field,
lacrosse. Like,
pro
Like,
field
that's
lacrosse.
crazy, man.
I know.
like, that would never get touched. That like no one's ever getting a shot, like ever. And not
I know.
only that, how many Hall of Famers did you shut out from playing like that game?
I mean, Dane wasn't playing, but it was Josh, Mickey.
Yeah.
Trying to think who else was on. Like they had Kurtzy out there.
I
Kyle
still
Jackson.
can't believe he shot that fucking self. Oh my god.
Well, the worst part is too is like I saw Kurtzy was about to shoot it, and as he shot, if you watch the clip back, I am outside of the crease waiting for him to shoot it because I was like, "There's no way this guy's trying to beat me with one of these right now."
Yeah.
And he hit the one more to Geddes, and he scored the one, and I was at the moment I was laughing about it, but looking back at it, I was like, "God, that would have been nice." And you know, foreshadowing later on, he's the guy I ended up grabbing this summer after he shot a ball after a whistle that got me in some trouble too.
You got a little hot head this year, eh, Dobbs?
Yeah, a little Ron Hextall on me, eh? It's no good.
Not your sister. Stop trying to be your sister. She's the tough one, Dauber. Stop
Well,
trying to
you wonder where she gets it from. It runs in the family, you know.
Oh, so you know the old man's a firecracker too.
All right, buddy. Yeah, no, we go all the time. I know.
The other piss off moment from the PLL was this season. Like, how did you not win the goalie of the year award? Like, I was pissed. I was pissed. Like, holy smokes.
And to be fair, like I felt like this year was a really, really good year for goaltenders across the whole. Like I thought, you know, the goaltender play was elevated a lot. Like the margin of error between the top four goalies, I think, was by 0.8%, and it was 59% roughly for everybody, right? So
Who won it?
it was Logan McNanny won it.
I was going you or Ederman. Anyways, like.
Yeah, and part of it is a lot of it is the initial votes are voted on by the players, and you know, maybe me not being the nicest guy on the field that year could have played into the initial voting part of it. But
It's not the nice guy
you know
award.
what?
It's the best goaltender, for Christ's sakes. Who cares
They
how
don't
fucking
like
nice you are?
Canadians.
Yeah, that's all it is.
Though, right? Like,
Wrong passport.
individual awards come. Individual awards come with team success, and our team didn't have a good year this year. And you know what? It's fair. Like if we're losing games, but you're putting up numbers, like you know, if you're going to win an award, you should be helping your team win. And I don't think that, as much as you know, I felt like I was doing my part. I felt like there was still more I could have done. And you know, at the end of the day, it's 1 year in lacrosse, and it's you know what we're having a conversation about it now. It's good for people that cover the sport. It's a conversation piece, and it's going to be more fuel to the fire as you head into it next year. And you don't play to win individual awards; you play to win championships. And I was more pissed about us not making the playoffs than getting an award.
I agree. Well, I don't have
All
any
right.
questions, so I'm just going to put the bricks.
Your next game is against your hometown Oshawa Firewolves.
Hey, that's
Does
not even your question. You
does
son
that then go on ahead and ask it there, Toby?
That's
Brutal,
fishy.
Doss. You're
That's
taking over because
fishy.
you're the host. You're taking over because you're the host. Go ahead. Don't you say it, Doss. You've already started. I'm not interrupting you. Go ahead, bud. It's all you, Doss.
Your next game is against your hometown Oshawa Firewolves. Does that add extra pressure, or is it just another day at an office after they moved?
We'll answer that after Saturday if he lets in 30.
Yeah, we'll see. Well, I got to make sure I'm in the lineup first. You know, we'll see if there's any disciplinary issues with that.
Come on, Sean Lemon.
But
Ryan.
no, I
Ryan
think
Lemon.
that I think it's always funny, and this will be the second time I've ever played against Dyson. You know, and last time I played him, he had the game winner, and I was pretty choked about it. It was on some cheeky penalty they called like late in the game after we just tied it up, and he pulled it back on me. So I'm excited to play him, and obviously, They got a really good offense, and I honestly, I think Dougie Jamison's one of the best goalies in the game right now. And being able to play against, you played Vino last week, and you get to play Dougie next week. Like, I'm excited for it. I think that any chance to get a strap of the pads and play will be huge. But it would have been nice to be able to play in Oshawa this year. I know my parents would have loved seeing that, and but us playing them in Georgia is pretty unique too. Like, I know Dice is excited to come down to Georgia and see what the Peachtree State has to offer.
Worst airport in the league. Eh?
I actually like it. I like it when there's stuff going on. There's like it's brutal. Like, I almost missed a game in the PLL when they were going through that crowd strike stuff, and I showed up like 30 minutes before the face off. But it was I don't mind it, but I can see why people hate it.
Frick, that means don't bet the 1.5, eh?
I'm betting the 1.5.
Don't bet the 1.5, eh?
Dyson owns Dauber. I'm betting the 1.5.
No chance.
Was it goals?
You should have seen him in practice.
Goals. He's not getting 2 on you, Dauber.
He did last time, but put an asterisk on the first one though. He was banked off a D-back.
Oh, hey, did he call bank?
Blame your D guy, Dauber. They don't say Dauber. Don't blame the D guy because they don't say anything when you let one in from the blue line.
I would never.
That's what you need to know. Did he call bank?
So my question is, Dauber, you're in Georgia. Who you living with? And is one of the most GQ goalies dating anyone at this present time, or are you living the single life down in Georgia? What are you doing?
So
you're hot on the girlfriend questions.
When I first got to Georgia, I lived with Andrew Q. So me and Q Ball lived together for my first 2 years. And then Q Ball moved out last year, and Richie Connell is living with me. Currently, Richie is single. I do have a new girlfriend right now, so I'm off the market.
Canadian or American girlfriend?
Yeah, but I already got my green card though, so it's I'm in good shape.
She's a Canadian girl?
No, she's American.
All right, I'm done. Only 32 more questions. Holy. Welcome to Team Marathon Podcast, where we ask questions for 42 hours and 17 minutes.
Toller gets upset because he's got to wake up at 9:30 for work in the morning. Half of us have been at work for 4 hours already, but he's got to wake up at 9:30. So
Toller's got a job. That's got to be a first. No,
I'm actually 8.
Yes.
8. I'm 8 at 8 p.m.
You're full of shit.
You work too hard, buddy.
Well, he's just making up. He's making up for lost time.
Listen to you. Like, don't, like, you, like,
making up for lost time.
Dawson can say something. You can't say a word ever.
Yeah, I can. I can.
No,
I
you
can.
Can't. Oh, because last year you've been missed for work. Yeah.
Last
year. How was your second place in the friggin' thing? You lost the friggin'.
You can't even finish your thought. Look how brother. What does that have to do with you never working?
Because I was coaching, winning Pee Wee Bantam Midget Championship.
That's fair.
Okay, back to Dobson. We have 42 questions left. Can we get back to Dobson?
All right, Dobson. Winning back-to-back PLL titles. What did those runs teach you about pressure, preparation, and performing when it matters the most?
I think that when you're in the playoffs, anything can happen, and I think that you gotta give everything you have to make sure that things go your way. You might be irritable, but at the end of the day, if you're able to win, and the rings and the stories that come with it, or you'll never forget them. And I think that when you put all that work in, it pays off in the end. And I think that those championship teams we have, I think that the bond with those guys are going to be truly something you keep. And it's cliche to say because I feel like a lot of guys say that, but it's true. Like when you have a really good locker room and a really tight group, you're gonna have a good chance to win a championship. And I felt like our team and our locker room was unbelievable. Those 2 runs we had, and hopefully those aren't my last championships. I would, because winning's fun, and I'm hoping that I can kind of get back in the playoffs at some point in either the NLL or the PLL and be able to perform the same way.
Yeah, you guys are good. Here's one, Dauber. If someone had to describe your goaltending style in one sentence, Dauber, just one sentence, not 2, not 3, one sentence.
Bedtime.
What would it be? What makes you?
I would say unique and unorthodox. It's not the prettiest thing in the world,
Is that
But-
a St. Bonaventure sentence, unique and unorthodox? Or you gotta
Oh, I mean, those are big words. They didn't teach that at
they are
RIT?
pretty big words. There's zero chance Frick could spell that, but we got to go moving on.
That's fair.
I don't think you're that unorthodox, Dauber, though. I wouldn't say you're that unorthodox.
Well, I would say it's not the prettiest thing in the world. Like, it's not all clean saves in field or in box, but it's put your body on the line and just do whatever it takes to keep it out. And I feel like that's how it's kind of been usually, right?
And that's the thing. As much, I will admit it, as much as I do hook goalies, I have the most respect for them because I used to say to all my minor teams when they screwed up, like, do you want to go in net? When you hit him in the head, do you want to go in net? No, then stop doing it because I agree. Goalies are one of a kind and special, especially field lacrosse. Like, I wouldn't cut you up even if you're the worst goalie in the world, which you're not even close. But I'm just saying, like, to be a goalie in field and box, and you're a good hockey goalie too. You didn't even tell Doc, but you were a hockey goalie. He wasn't bad. He wasn't bad.
terrible.
I thought he was a little bit better than he was, but he wasn't bad.
I couldn't skate. I wasn't a good skater. I told her, and I can attest to Toller cutting kids up. During COVID, like we had a couple practices out there, and Toller would be full padded up, and I'm pretty sure it was McCafferty would just be sitting on the crease, just teeing off on poor Ty Wilson, and he's just pelting him in the arms and the legs, and he's like, "Listen, if you do that one more time, you're going to net." And it was him and Belmonte would just crease crank. And it was ridiculous.
No clue where it's going, just crease cranking. Dauber's like, "Hey, Ty, get over that. Tell him." Yeah, Dauber's like, "Get out of there."
Yeah, tell him to fuck off. Like, this isn't gonna happen.
Dauber, how do you mentally reset after a bad goal?
I've had a lot of practice with this, so I feel like, giving up bad goals is going to happen, but just getting back to the next shot. Like, you can't change the one before that, and you can only make a difference moving forward. With that being said, I think when you move forward, I still give up a couple bad goals after that, so just kind of forgetting about it. Like, you can be upset about it, but don't let it affect the rest of your game. Like, you can talk about it afterwards, like, yeah, I would have liked to have that one back, and I always think, and I'll say this, like, I think with my game and being realistic, like, I think I'll give up a couple of softies that I should have, but there's a couple ones I'll save that maybe shouldn't have had any business stopping, and it kind of evens out in the end of it a bit. So I try not to dwell too much on that, and I think when
But Dauber, sorry to interrupt, but I'm going to tell you from a coach's standpoint, when you say that, I would rather you just stop the ones that you stop, and you won't even worry about, like, stop the ones you should, and maybe make one fantastic save. Because, like we were talking about, that Nick Rose goal by Ethan Walker.
Terrible. Terrible. Terrible.
Right?
I
Ex-coach.
agree with you.
Those are the goals that just, and it's momentum, and it's the thing. And one thing I like about you, like, the one thing I respect about goalies, and no blaming the defense ever. You take your thing. It is what it is. But, like, that's the thing. To me, just make the saves you should, and that way. And you've always done that, and you're fabulous that way, passing and all that stuff. But no, it's a good point that you say that. But it gets your momentum when you make great saves. So I agree. What do you think your best save ever has been, Dauber? It's not even a question. I'm just saying. What do you think your best save ever has been?
The guy complaining about too many questions is ad-libbing questions now. Love it.
It's got to be. I think the field one's got to be the Caraway 2-pointer, because I feel like looking back at it, like,
Is that the leg save followed by the other save followed by the other one?
Kick-
3 in a row.
kick-
That's the
Kick
one.
save and a
That's the-
beauty.
Yeah, it's like their time's winding down. They draw the last play up. We're up by 1 in the first championship, and somehow he gets hands free with 3 crow hops behind the 2-point line, and he already had 3 on me and let one go. And it was humming, and thank God, like, I got a piece of it, because it would have been nightmare central. Like, lost a lot of sleep over if that went in. I would have probably never shown my face again.
How does that not break your toe? Like, how does that?
Right?
It's crazy.
I don't know. I'd rather get hit there than run, respectfully.
I remember
That's called a goalie, because there's no way. And I hate running. I would rather run all day than run
I remember Tuggy way back in the day. He didn't want to get hit in the toes either, so he made his dad go out and find him steel toe running shoes. And he swore to God, he used to wear steel toe running shoes. He's like, I'm not getting hit in the fucking toe. Fuck that.
Delbert, when you're studying per game, if it's in the PLL or it's in the NLL, what are you studying? Like, shooters more, your own movement? What's the pattern?
Yeah, I think for myself, like, a lot of realistically looking at yourself and the way you play is going to be usually after a game, like right away, and see kind of what you gave up and what you could work on. As the week goes on, leading into a game, it's a lot more just seeing what guys are doing shooting wise, trying to pick up on tendencies. It helps too when you're able to see those guys shoot a couple times. Can you get a feel for things so you have an understanding? And I try to put myself into their position and like, hey, like he's coming to this spot, like what might be something that I'm giving up. And again, at the end of the day, you can do all this stuff and you can overthink it and it can be detrimental to your game. But at the end of the day, you got to go out there and try your best to make saves. So you got to find that fine line between being just a film junkie and as well as going out there and playing your game, right? Because if you're in your own head, you're not going to be able to stop the ball.
All right, Dobber, question 44 of 85. What's the one bad habit that you see young goalies copying that they absolutely shouldn't? Because you are a seasoned veteran of how many years now?
Four. In the NLL now.
Doss, good question, Doss, for the veteran.
Bad habits that kids are going. I think one that I've noticed a lot in field lacrosse. So I personally like to have my hands kind of on like a perpendicular line. A lot of people are kind of going more kind of sideways this way with their sticks, and it's kind of affecting the way they have it up top. And they get kind of torched off stick high a lot. So I kind of try to think, don't have it so here, kind of have it kind of in that kind of happy medium of it.
Will someone teach them that though, Dobber? Like, how come they're doing that then all of a sudden?
I have a theory about there was a goalie who's really, really good that was playing a bit like that. His name was Anderson Moore. He's like the number one goalie in the class. He's at Georgetown right now. He'll probably be a top pick in the PLL when he's done. When he was going through high school and he had a sick like high school highlight tape, like there was a lot of stuff kind of like this where he was holding his hands. But kids took it from him having it here to kind of here a bit more, and it's just kind of changed the landscape of it. And I would think for box, I think like not knowing how much net you cover, and thinking like, hey, like these guys are picking me apart, knowing that I'm a bigger goalie. Like when I was growing up, I was small and I didn't really picture it until now. But like knowing that these guys have to shoot around you and understanding like how much you cover goes a long way.
It truly does. Like, and that's what I keep talking about Colorado. Like, if you don't give up the quick stick, when Dylan Ward's out there, you don't see shit.
Don't see
and that's
shit.
the whole thing. Like we were talking about that game, you don't see any. Like you can't. I was trying to do that.
He's
with Ty
so
Wilson.
far out.
Yeah, like some goalies, whatever. Like Ty Wilson, our goalie for Junior A and field across now at Robert Morris. He's 6'4", ginormous. Get out and break the angle down. Don't sit back in your net and like. And that's the thing though. A lot of goalies look at the paddle tools. They all stay on their goal line. You know what I mean? They want to be on their goal line or whatever. But yeah, no, I agree, Dobber. That's a great call. Good question, Mike.
And I still think too, though. Like I'll have my dad will get on me about it a bit too. Like I'll stay on the line a little too much sometimes. But I think now being a little bit bigger, like I'm able to cover more of that angle. But like if you look at a guy like Vino, like, and I think Vino's really good at like holding his angle. It's like, hey, if you're gonna beat me, you gotta beat me to the spot, or how he holds his kind of stance, right? And the guy who like is amazing to me, I have two. I think Delbs will literally take the bigger uppers and say, no, I want the smaller ones, and like is still able to put up 50 saves a game by just moving or reacting. And for him being a smaller guy, you know, in relatively decent shape, like, you know, I think that it plays well for him. But you look at a guy like Dougie, who is as big as he is and moves as well as he does. It's pretty astonishing to look at. Like he's a big fella and he moves just as good as me and laterally, in my opinion.
So are you gonna jump on it or what?
I did the last question.
Who's the funniest and most?
We gave you back to backs because you complained so much, for fuck's sakes.
Who's the most funniest and most?
You out.
You've got to ask a question.
Go ahead.
The funniest or most chaotic personality in the Georgia locker room? Wait, before you say Dobber, let's take a guess. Who do you think, Frick?
The funniest, I'm gonna have to go with probably J-Mac. And the most chaotic, just because I know he's a disaster, Riggs, Shane Jackson.
You know, you told you got any guesses?
Oh God, I'm gonna go with. I don't know. I was gonna say a guy I wanted to say Riggsy. How about Ethan Riggs when he was? Not far. I don't know. What do you say, Doss? I don't know. What do you think? Who got Dobber?
Hendrick. And I'm gonna go with the backup, Devlin Shanahan. Shanny, yeah.
You don't kind of stuck up to Shanny. He can't get you Leaf tickets anymore, so he's no good, yeah.
I think to me personally, the funniest guy to me is Shane Jackson, hands down. Like Jacko's one of the funniest, wittiest, and like quickest guy with like you say something it's out like that. Bomber was pretty good too. Like Bomber ran the court and he was our judge for a long time when he was there, but he's no longer on the team, so he's out. And the most chaotic, I might say my roommate Richie. Like he's like 6'5", and like when he's moving around, like he's a bolt of energy, but he's got a little chaos to him too, and I love him. And if it ain't him, it's probably me. Just bouncing off the wall with the ADHD. It's probably me.
How much is the Olympics right now is on your mind? Like, it's a big stepping stone for lacrosse, but for you personally.
Yeah, it's something I think about a lot. Like it's I think when they announced it and seeing when the Olympics would be and kind of knowing how old I am and how old I would be by then, I think it's an opportunity that hopefully I can make the most of it and be able to make that team. I know my parents would be extremely proud of me, and my family would be extremely happy, because not only is it to be a professional and to do what it is, but to play for Team Canada and to be able to go to the Olympics is something that, one, hasn't been done yet for lacrosse in a long time, and two, I think would be a tremendous honor. And I think that with the way Sixes is, it's going to be an extremely hard roster to crack. And I think that if you're one of Canada's best 11 players in the world, I think you're in a pretty good shape. And
that's going to be one tough team to pick.
It's like it's like, do you go young, do you go old? Like it's a good problem to have, but it's also a bad problem to have.
You can't go old.
You definitely don't go old.
No, you do. You go old. You go old. You're gonna be running into fucking O'Neill and Hannah running right by old.
Yeah.
The Kirsch brothers, Kavanaughs. You got to go young and athletic for this one.
You got to go medium. No, you go best players still playing that are athletic. Like Dane Smith could still play.
But he's going to be older though, right? So that's like, do you keep rolling with that, or do you go with a guy like Sammy English, who's going to be a freak athlete out there that can just motor?
Yeah, but you got to see if Dane Smith is still getting 100 points in the NLL and getting Man Cup. Guess who I'm going with? No, Sam English will be on the team too.
If he keeps playing against me, he'll be still putting up 120 points.
I meant 200. Sorry.
Yeah, 200. Yeah, exactly.
So speaking of Canadian pioneers a little bit here, Chris Anderson and Kyle Miller kind of created the Canadian field lacrosse blueprint for goaltenders, right? Dylan Ward's kind of like dragged that on and passed that on towards you. And now we have a young fellow like Grayson Manning that's coming up behind you. How does it feel to kind of be like the start of the next wave of goaltenders coming through Canada?
It's really cool to see how many of them are actually playing at the next level. Like, when I came into it, there might have been like 2 or 3 other guys that were playing down there. Like, I feel like there's like 5 to 10 now Division I goalies, but also like, there's more in D2, D3. And I think that, a lot of it, I feel like credits to Wardo, because I wouldn't be here without Wardo, and obviously those guys before him. But, I think that it's going to be really cool to see the growth of it and how many more kids are coming out. Like, there's at least, out of Ontario, I can think of like 4 that are Division I goalies, and they're getting better and better. Like, I see these kids at the Hill now that I've worked with, like, they're fucking legit. Like, they're like it's hard to score on them. Like, and these kids are just getting bigger, more wittier, and understand the position, and it's just paying dividends, because I feel like the stuff that we've learned at the next level, these kids are starting to get access to earlier and earlier, and now they're going to start to learn more and quicker. And I think I remember listening to some podcast or someone talk about it with basketball, like the amount of talent these younger kids and skill that they're coming out with because they're having access to it so early. The landscape's changed a bit, but like they're so talented at such a young age that they're gonna be making a big difference in the future.
I had 2 things just quick on that. Obviously, I had the privilege of playing with both Chris and Kyle, and Chris was one of the. You want to talk about funny? Oh my god!
Oh yeah!
Like that guy was unbelievable. Even in junior, he ruined my career getting minnow cups after, because he would just be getting Jay Lacombe would want to be coming down to fight him, and he would just be getting the crowd going. And he was an absolute booty. But I'm telling you, that Grayson Manning, that might, and I've said it before, that might have been one of the greatest goaltending displays I have ever seen in a long time. He was absolutely unbelievable. Unbelievable. I'd still pick you over him. I'd still pick you, Dobber. If we're in the gold medal game, you're getting the start for him.
He earned that jean jacket there. Like, that was, like, I just double back there. Like, that was one of the best goaltending. Right, like that's up there with Chris Anderson in that Final Four where they won with Virginia. Like, he saved everything, he saw everything, and just the performance that he put on at such a young age on such a high stage was phenomenal.
But it is funny how that field game has like changed with like the USA and now Canada. Like, I still remember in 2007 in London, walking behind when USA was playing Australia, and the fence with Coyle and Tom Fair, and Coyle yelling to Coyle yelling to what's the guy who's got all the what's the guy Millen yelling Millen, I'm gonna break your leg and back next when we play. I'm gonna break your back. And Millen like this, and Coyle's like, I don't care about field lacrosse. I don't like field lacrosse. I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna kill you. And like their faces were just shivering in their boots. And T Fair's like this. They didn't care. Just scared the crap right out of them.
T Fair.
What a stupid schedule with the Minto and that tournament going on at the same time. Like,
Yeah, it's a good thing that we didn't know it was happening. Steve Govett, the Minto Cups only ran the same time for the last 85 years, and you just scheduled that World Championship.
Jesus.
Anyways, Dauber, I think we're getting near the end of question 410. It's almost. Oh, last question for Tolly before frick time. Dauber, if you put on that Team Canada jersey in the Olympics, what would that moment feel like, and how do you perform?
Well, I'm hoping I get graced with that opportunity, but it'll be one of the coolest things ever, I think, for me. Like, if I never play a game of lacrosse after the Olympics again, I can, die a happy man and know that I not only, lived out a dream, but I know I would have made my mom, my dad, and my sister extremely proud. And I think there's a crazy thought, too, that my sister and I could both be there. And I think as parents, if you have two kids that are both in the Olympics, I think you did something pretty well. So to be able to do that would be pretty cool. And, there's an old saying I like to say a lot. It's like, we're here. We might as well, fucking do something good with it, right? So if I get the chance to be there, I might as well fucking just do something noteworthy. I don't plan on it. I don't plan on taking any dumb penalties there either, So that's kind of where I hope to go and hopefully win gold, right?
I feel like the book is out. Don't go anywhere near Dauber's fucking crease or you're eating one.
It's an old school brand.
Now's the time when he's already on the watch list. Now's the time when you give it to him. You give him a spear.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'd be going behind and give him a little leg poke every once in a while when he wasn't looking, just stirring the fucking pot.
I'd be going right behind the net and firing the ball off the back of his head.
Wow, excellent.
You wouldn't make it down there. It's too many steps for you, Toller. Come on.
No, plus it's behind the net. Plus it's behind the net, so I'd only be in front of the net scoring.
Exactly.
Toller only cheated on breakaways.
This is the third favorite part of the show from the podcast listeners. Go ahead.
The third favorite. I'm top three. I'm two of the top three. That's all that matters. All right, Dauber, we're here with Rapid Fire with Frick. Rapid Fire is sponsored by the good fellas at Loading Lacrosse. Tyrell Hammer Jackson, Jordan McBride. Use promo code TONKA95 for 15% off all items at loadinglocks.com. That promo code is TONKKA95 for 15% off all items store-wide until December 23rd, 2025. Dauber, what's a pregame ritual you can't live without? Also, before we get into this, we can't have answers that are too long. Toller gets tired, and it's almost bedtime, okay? So it's quick ones. All right, pregame ritual you can't live without.
Juggling lacrosse balls and putting my Normatex on pregame.
Toughest shooter you've had to play against, PLL or NLL?
I would say teeter in both.
Great answer. Great answer. Outside of your stick, because I know the stick's the most picky part for every single lacrosse player. Outside of your stick, what's the piece of gear that you're most picky about?
My gloves. I'm picky with how they're designed and how the palms come pre-cut.
I thought you were gonna say helmet.
I thought he was going to say helmet too. All right, last one. College or the pros? What was the best post-game city that you've been to?
Oh. I'm not going to say it was any game, but my week-long trip to the Mann Cup this past year was pretty good. This past year in Vancouver. Vancouver's up there.
What a tourney, man! Holy.
Would have been better on turf, but it was pretty good.
All right, Dauber.
It was one of the coolest lacrosse experiences I've ever seen. Being there.
It was ridiculous lacrosse. Gross.
How much people care.
How hot was it in QPA?
It wasn't. I didn't feel like it was that bad. By game 6, though, it was pretty hot.
I'm not sure how anyone people got drunk because it was just sweating through you.
Hey, Doss, you really just didn't say that in your pot. Like, Doss.
Come on, man.
Like, oh my God. Oh, it's hot outside. I can't have a beer. Oh my God.
It was hot. Like,
I think
they might have like a max tickets on it, but I swear they were opening the doors and the back door just let the whole entire province of Vancouver
But
I
I
used to
wear a
wear
turtleneck when I
The
played junior or anything. I
province
used to wear
of
a turtleneck on the weekend.
Vancouver.
the province of
province
BC.
of
Whatever,
Vancouver.
frick. Whatever, frick.
All
I'm
right,
glad you
Dobber,
spelled Tonka right this time.
not bad. I can read. I can read. Kid's
Yeah,
good.
that was one thing too, Dobber. At least he got spelled Tonka right for you this time. Because last
Oh
time
yeah, I
TOKKAWT.
I absolutely buried the first one. Like you just fucking dig that up and throw it right in the garbage. It was so bad. It got bad out there. All right, Dobber,
Dobber.
we won't keep you for too much longer here, but we really appreciate your time. Best of luck for the rest of the year, and hopefully we see you in a red jersey here coming up soon.
Now when the
Which one?
PLL.
Which one?
Money.
Any more rumors out of you? I'm not gonna be losing sleep at night. You know.
Hey, you didn't come at me on Twitter. You went at other people. I was the guy fighting for you here. Okay, I don't post that on Twitter. I just call you.
Yeah, I know. You knew better, right?
Yeah. All right, Dobber. Thanks a lot for coming, buddy. Appreciate you.
No problem, boys. Thanks
Thank
for
you.
having me.
Thank you so
Take
much.
care, right?
I gotta say this, right off the get-go, with people, all these fans and all that, they need to understand that he's only like 3 years, right? So, like, just listening to the backstory from junior to PLL to the NLL and, where he is now and looking towards the Olympics, like, this guy is a stud. He's a stud. He's a stud of a human being, just coming up on the podcast, spending over an hour with us. I guess, what's your reflection from it?
I think the first thing is people kind of get confused with how long he's been in the league just by the way that he talks. You know what I mean? He talks like he's a consummate professional. He's very well spoken. He's very well educated. So like things like that kind of throw your brain for a loop, and you kind of maybe misconstrue how old he really is. Like he talks like he's in his mid to late 30s, right? But he's a young kid who's only been in the league for 4 years, and the success that he's had on the other side of the game in the PLL, like that's gonna make guys think that he's a little bit older and a little bit more seasoned as well. Toller, what do you got?
So mature.
Yeah, no, I agree. And the thing to me is, I think he really studied Dylan Ward a lot, just the way he does both. Because there's not, like I said, there's Matt Vince was out as a field lacrosse. There's not too many that are that good at both.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're either good at one or the other. And he's, I think, studied the game. And you know what I mean? As soon as he wins an NLL and he's getting there, you said, years in the league, he looks like because the way he acts and the way he presents himself, you think he's been in the league 10 years. But that's just obviously from his upbringing, his family, obviously smart family that way. And you know what I mean? He's had to work for everything. He wasn't given anything, trust me. And they had whatever, but he had to work for every little thing and, you know what I mean, do the things that he did. And he's just a nice kid. Good things happen to good people. That kid's a nice kid, playing simple dotted line.
100%.
Funny story about his parents. Told we were at a Whitby Warriors golf tournament one year, and his mom can hit the piss out of a golf ball. Like she can just fucking lace this golf ball, and I'm on the wrong fairway, still on the fairway, but I'm on the wrong fairway, the hole next door, and I'm on their fairway, and she missed me by about fucking 5 feet. And then they come up and Big Dobber just starts laughing. He goes, "Oh, it's only frick." And she's like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry." I go, "Miss Dobson, you almost fucking killed me." I would have been like she can hit the piss out of thing. I think she actually even won the women's long drive on that one. But yeah, like totally, you hit it right on the head, man. Great people, good things happen to great people, and that's evident right now.
Yeah.
All right, now it's time for everybody's second favorite topic on the podcast. We're going with Frick's Picks, proudly sponsored by CoolBet. CoolBet is the #1 sports book for all things box lacrosse. Whether you're looking to sprinkle a little on the money line, hit some exciting player props, or ride with Frick's Picks parlay every week. CoolBet is your one-stop shop for all things betting box lacrosse. New users, we got a great deal for you. You can double your first deposit up to $200 when you use our exclusive promo code MESH. That's MESH. MESH. Sign up today at coolbet.com and embrace the unexpected. But remember, Toller, always stay cool and bet responsibly. All right, boys. Colorado kind of screwed us last week. We were looking at a cool 3 bills. Patty Coyle and the boys had a little bit of a mix-up for our plans, right? So this week we're going to stay on a couple wagons here. We're going to stay on the Oshawa money line wagon. I think that team is bound. They won, but we all seen Karki on the broadcast, and he didn't look too happy with their performance. So we're going to jump on Oshawa. I think this next one is just a drastic mismatch in lineups both ways. We're going with Sasky money line over Calgary. Toller, I'm with you. I think they might put up 30. We're going to stick in the hot hand, and I feel like Dice had a couple missed opportunities, and I think he's looking for a big bounce back game. So we're going to say on the Dyson Williams bandwagon, he's going over 1.5 goals, no problem. And Dawson, I thank you for this little tidbit of information. Robert Church is averaging 5 points per game against Calgary, and they have him on CoolBet right now at over under 3.5. So we're going to smash that over. That could be 35, and I think we would still talk about hitting that over. Robert Church is going to go absolutely off. So
We might be betting 3 G's on that one for real.
Right? Like we're riding hard on the Robert Church over 3.5.
If Robert Church doesn't get over 3.5, Robert Church, I'm going to have a little talk with you because I'm going to say something about Robert Church. And that top 50, where he is ranked, is the most embarrassing thing
I had him higher.
Oh my God! And no offense to any of those guys or whatever, but there's a guy between 10,
lots of offense.
There's a guy picked. They have between 10 and 14. I'm not gonna say names. That there is 35 other players better than him.
Roasted.
And like to me, and again, I don't know why. Again, I'm not going up the Will Malcolm bandwagon, but to have him not like he's 25 years old, he played or 26 years old. Like again, no offense to all the guys still ahead of him. But like, come on, like Robert Church is almost one of the best righties in the game, if not one of the right beside Dane Smith. He's on every team Canada. Figure it out. Like not one good season. Like one good season, then they just drop him and move whatever. Like some of those rankings, like holy moly, like do some homework a little bit.
Old bar down Bobby. All right, so let's recap here. Toller kind of got us off track. We're going Oshawa money line. We're going Sask money line. We're riding with Dyson Williams over 1.5 goals. Riding hard with Robert Church over 3.5 points. Let's check back on coolbet.com or the Loose Mesh podcast for final odds.
And if I was betting to the world out there, I would just take the Sask and the Robert Church, and I'd bet the mortgage on it, fellas. Guaranteed. Guaranteed.
Hey, Fricky, Toll. CoolBet's also giving away an opportunity to come to Edmonton to see the NLL box against Calgary versus Georgia Swarm. From now until January 3rd, every $10 you bet on the NLL will earn you a raffle ticket to a draw for a trip to Edmonton to see the Swarm take on the Calgary Roughnecks. Just use bonus code BOBEDM before you get started.
Dos, don't you even
I heard
100%.
So
I heard Doss was flying us out for that game.
I guess so. At least he could do.
That's what I heard. That's what I don't know if I made it. I don't know if I made it up and heard it in my head or if I heard it out on the street.
Me and McMichael don't care. We'll fly Flair. We'll fly anywhere.
Oh,
we'll fly back.
Spirit, Jazz. I'll fly out of Porter. I don't even need to go to the big airport. I'll go to the little one. I'll get a little Cessna paying
Just make sure our tickets say Edmonton, because if not, we could end up somewhere else, and it would be bad. So make sure
Bora Bora.
Oh.
Well, if we're going to go, what day's the game on? Friday or Saturday?
It's Saturday
Game. So, Mike, Saturday game, fly out Thursday night, and we'll come home Sunday.
Yeah.
Let's
make it work. Let's make it work.
You know what? Thank you, Robert Church and Sask, because you're going to be able to fly us out with the money you win this weekend. Well, after last week, Uncle Frick begging for a sponsor for story time, we have one. They've won the lottery.
Let's go.
It is Niagara and Hamilton. Niagara and Hamilton Fitness Solutions. And why did they win? Because Dan Bowman owns it. Dan Bowman, ex-Junior A, captain of St. Catharines Athletics. Great guy. 2 stores, right? One in St. Catharines, one in Hamilton, right along. Great dude, and has everything there. I went in there, gave me a great deal on. They have treadmills, they have weights, they bring them to your house, they set them up, they do it all there. It's a great store, great business. You go in there, say you listen to Loose Mesh, guaranteed they will set you up. Dan Bowman, great guy. And actually, it's funny. The first owner of their team was his uncle and played for the 1974 Rochester team in the NLL. Or back then it wasn't the NLL. It was the other. 1974. He was the first owner, and Dan and his wife took over. So that's the thing. He won the lottery with the sponsor. It's a sponsor story time. So this story, boys. Now you got to really pay attention because it goes a little off track and then it gets back on track. But I can't actually use the guy's name because I'm not sure if he might get. I don't know. You'll hear when I hear the story. So we're in San Jose.
Take your guesses now.
Yeah, we're in San Jose. We're gonna call this guy Duke. We're not gonna call him his real name. We're gonna call him Duke. So we're in San Jose, and we have a night in San Jose. Great spot. We have a night. So we have a night. Bus is leaving like at 6 a.m. So 6 a.m. we all get on the bus, and Eddie's like, it's 2007. Eddie's like, you missing anyone, Toll? I was responsible once in a while. Eddie was like, I was Eddie's guy. So, we're missing Duke. Who was Duke's roommate, Steve? Junior was. Junior, where's Duke? Junior back at the bus, didn't have a clue what was. I said, Junior, where is your roommate? Is he in the room? I'm like, Eddie, Junior doesn't even know where he is. What are we gonna do? He's like, go check the rooms. Go in there, check for Duke. Not there. Come back on. Junior, where was Duke? You were with him last night. I don't know. I lost him. Is he not here? I'm like, no, he's not on the bus. Did he sleep in your room? I don't know. I'm like, oh my God, Junior. So we're like, okay, let's go to the airport. Maybe he'll show up at the airport. Go to the airport. Still no Duke. We got his gear. Go back home. We fly. Back there. Get home. We all take off. Eddie calls me that night. Have you heard anything from any of the boys? Sunday night. I said, no one's heard a word. Okay, I just talked to his parents. His car is there, doors open, passport and keys are in his car. And I said, in Toronto? He's like, yeah. I said, well, how did he get from San Jose to Toronto? And he's like, I don't know, but his parents are worried. I'm like, okay. So now it's Tuesday, nothing. Wednesday practice. We have practice Wednesday. We go there. Eddie pulls me aside. Eddie, word on Duke? No, haven't seen Duke at all. Haven't seen him. Parents, nothing. They got a missing report for him in San Jose now. I'm like, oh my God, we're missing a player on our team. He's missing. His car's in Toronto. Doors are open, passport there, keys in it, wide open, in Toronto, wide open. But how does, and then who was it? Someone said, well, I saw him at the San Jose airport because he had his passport. How does his passport get to Toronto? I'm like, well, why asking me? I don't know. So anyways, so this is on Wednesday. We play the next night. We play on Friday. Still no Duke. No one's heard, nothing. So that's 2007. We go on the whole year playing for Duke. Duke hasn't been there since we lost him in San Jose. Gone.
What?
Yeah, buddy, come on. Listen, gone. So we're like, okay, let's play for Duke. Let's win it for Duke. We win the championship. Next year, we play 2008. Still no Duke. We're like, oh my God. Like, what happened? Like, Junior, what did you do to this guy? And Junior's the type of guy when you get on him too, he gets so nervous. He's like, maybe I did something too. But he's the funniest.
So defensive.
So anyways, so next year we play 2008. Still no Duke. Literally, field lacrosse, Brampton, Sandalwood Park. Me and Willie walking down Sandalwood Park going to one of our games. I'm like, Willie, look ahead of us. He's like, oh my God, it's Duke. He's like, it is Toll. He's like, hey, Tolly, hey, Willie, how you doing? We're like, buddy, you've been gone for 2 years. Willie is dying. I go, buddy, you've been gone for 2 years. He goes, yeah, I gotta tell you something. I said, you fake? You fake? But our faces, like, no one's heard from him, not a word. And literally, and I feel bad because we almost forgot about him. Like, after the first year we won the championship, it's like, who cares? Duke's gone, I guess. Oh, well, Duke's gone. No big deal. Like, I felt bad the following year because we didn't even mention him, and he was still gone. So anyways, me and Willie goes, buddy, what happened? He goes, well, I got picked up by the French Foreign Legion.
Oh, I remember this.
Yeah, French Foreign Legion. And he couldn't tell his parents. He couldn't tell the team. So it's 2 years of you can't tell anyone. So Willie goes, you did what? He goes, yeah. They picked me up in San Jose by a private jet, and I flew to Toronto, put that shit in my car, and then flew, and I couldn't tell my parents. I couldn't tell anyone. I said, like, you couldn't tell anyone that you're just gone from our team and missing?
Yeah.
Just missing. Gone. Like, it was weird. Like, you know, we've all missed planes or buses, but he's got 2 years.
He was my roommate in Anaheim the one year when we were flying back and forth and going to training camp, and
Absolute beauty.
Beauty. And we were sitting in the room one night after Big Evie started a little commotion at a bowling alley. And he told me that like there was a chance he would have to go to the French Foreign Legion, and then a couple years later that happened. That's the most wild thing I think I've heard in my life.
Worst, and we were all over Junior. Junior, you killed him. Junior, you killed him. You left him somewhere to die, and you killed him.
Yeah.
And Junior, I didn't. Junior's all defensive. I'm like, you killed him. He's gone, Junior. He's gone. But the best was all week. Like Eddie told, have you heard anything from the guys or anything? His parents are really worried. Well, no shit. You don't think we're worried? And then Austin,
their kid's gone for 6 months.
6 months. He's gone for 2 years.
No, I know. But after the first little bit, you would figure that, yeah, of course they're worried. Everybody's worried.
Well, that's the thing, too. Like, eventually, after every Wednesday practice and games, Eddie stopped asking because, like, whatever. Then once so often, I'd bring it up. Junior, what did you do to him? Did you, like, cut him up and thing and Junior get off? But I'm not lying to you. Willie's face in my face. God. Literally 2 years later, there's Duke. Hey, Willie. It was the most amazing thing I've ever seen. Like, when you think a guy's dead and you're lacrosse buddy, and then, hey, boys, what's up?
Hey, so speaking of that senior men's field league, 2 points here. One, how gross was our team?
Oh, buddy.
Like you, Horsey, Willie, Prout, Mapesy, like we were gross. And then the second one I want to bring up here is, do you remember when Andy Glenn got thrown out of the game, and they tried to tell him that he had to leave the whole park, and he started yelling at the ref to call the fucking park ranger? Call the park ranger. I'm off the line. Call the park ranger. Nobody knew what to do.
Oh my God.
Boys, Fricky, I think we've been on here long enough, man. This is probably our biggest episode. It is our biggest episode. But hey, like, it's all good. You know, when we have 3 beauties and a 4th beauty coming on that came on the show, you can't cut good content. You can't cut good podcasts.
But
you
one
can't
thing
cut
we should say to
good
those guys
stuff.
is, like, we have you don't, like, some of them go on and on their answers. I'd rather, like, they kind of answer, but then not talk with the next one. You know what I mean? Just answer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's just the way you do when you get interviewed. But I'm just saying that'd be one little tidbit. Good thing, because my computer's gonna die after our 4-hour episode.
Okay, let's do the exit and then get out of here.
Wait, I'm not exiting until you give me the exit. Like, can I exit?
Yeah. No, wait. I haven't. Hold
Dawson.
on. Yeah.
Your special guest just texted me.
No, we're not having him on. I'm leaving.
Is he?
No,
He just texted me.
Doss, I'm leaving. Doss, can I leave? My show.
Cole, sit down again. We got to do the exit. We didn't do the exit, man.
Yes, we did.
No, we didn't. Sit down.
You're lying to your teeth. You're the worst liar ever.
Do the exit, man. No, we didn't. Totally.
I love how we're still recording Joel folding up his fucking chair. I'm taking my fucking chair and I'm going home. I'm setting up my day bed. Put my chair back on.
I'm taking my net and I'm out of here. Yeah, boys.
Taking my ball. I'm going home.
Hey, boys. Thanks for coming up. Hold on. Totally. Thanks for everyone listening. Follow us. You know, hit up everyone. If that's from Loading Lacrosse to Cool Bet to the Goalie Factory, and totally your favorite one, the Oshawa. Fox sakes.
Niagara Solutions.
Niagara Solutions.
Niagara Fitness Solutions.
Okay, hold on. That's Toller's favorite place. Fuck's sakes.
Yeah, Niagara
Fitness Solutions.
Fuck's sakes.
Doss, you were on fire too.
Yeah, no. Hey, Fricky, totally. Let's do this again. This is an amazing podcast. You know, I think everyone's loving it. I'm thankful for all you guys listening to us and downloading it and sharing with all your friends. we would like to say one thing. Come and hang out with us Friday after nights. You know, right after the game, we're going live stream on YouTube. Come and hang out with that there. Answer, give Tolly some questions that, you know, he may answer, may not answer. Frick, you had one that you kind of danced a toad this week. But hey, I appreciate you boys coming on. I know everyone really supports it. They're in the DM saying this is the best podcast there is. And I truly believe it. It is. It's the #1 podcast. Share with your friends. And hey, thank you to all the sponsors. Niagara Fitness Solutions, Cool Bet, the Goalie Factory, Loading Lacrosse. Like, if it wasn't for the team of people that's behind us and helping us grow, it's nothing. We wouldn't be nothing here without them.
And
Boys,
Doc, you know what? You're a great host. Thank you, Doc.
Toller, before we go, I had a great shout out. I had a great shout out in the DMs. Oh, Brooklyn Redmond legend Paul Moots was listening to the pod.
Holy, this show's getting big, boys.
Yeah.
We're going big. All right, totally.
See you, boys.
Sayonara.
Out.